We're going live. All right, we are live for another biddle. Right?
Another one?
Another one.
We never stop.
It's another Saturday night, dude.
Love it. We got lots to talk about. Lots going on in Linux.
So, Ryan.
Yeah.
Guess what I installed?
What did you install, Rocco?
I installed i3 over
Welcome to the Genius Club. Welcome to the Club of Geniuses. Did you feel your IQ suddenly just start spiking immediately?
No.
Did you start learning, new concepts of the universe started popping in your head? You felt like you understood the world better? Any of that?
No. Mm-mm.
No?
Mm-mm.
Shocking. That's shocking. That's awesome that you installed it, though. What do you think so far?
I don't know. Like,
tell?
I didn't play around with it too much, but I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. I gotta play around with it. I gotta get used to it, and it's going to take a little bit of time that I don't have right at this moment. So, what are you gonna do?
You're gonna use i3 and come back a week from now and tell me thank you.
I don't know. Zeb, is the link not working? The link in the YouTube chat should be working.
What's going on, Vega?
Hold on, I'll copy the link and get it to you, Zeb. I'll put it in the chat. It should be the same one in the chat, but there. Try that one.
Getting a lot of stuttering on my side.
Yeah, I see that. It's going it's going all the way up and down with the kilobytes and stuff, so I don't know what that is. Last week was perfectly fine. This week
it was beautiful last week.
Yep. It was perfectly fine. I didn't change the setting at all.
You know what you need to do? Is go into i3 and it'll probably work.
Is that what it is?
Yeah. Just go into i3. You won't get anything to work because you won't know the key combos yet.
All right, Zeb is there. Oh, you know what? I turned off the ding for the bell.
That's fine. You don't all need to hear the dinging. What's going on, Zeb?
What's up,
Look
Zeb?
at that peppermint outfit you got, man.
He's all peppermint up.
I know. Representing.
Touchy subject, I know, but you're buffering quite badly.
Yes, I know. I don't know why, dude. No idea why. The kilobytes of last week were staying between right around 3,000. Now they're jumping down to 1,200 at times. So I don't know what's going on. It's got to be my internet connection.
That or YouTube. It's YouTube.
I could blame it on YouTube, but it's probably not. I can blame a lot of stuff on YouTube, but this is probably not one of those things.
Blame it on Ryan.
Zeb, what's happened with you? What's your problem? Always picking on me. Is it i3? Is it jealousy over i3? Is that what it is?
Well,
is there like a sad story where you tried to use i3 and somebody stole your computer and kicked your kitten, and now anybody uses i3 makes you upset?
Well, funny you should say that because I installed Manjaro i3 yesterday.
Look at this! I'm starting a revolution,
and it lasted 25 minutes.
Oh well, it's a short revolution.
And it's now back on just Manjaro XFCE.
Did you really give it a good go? Because 25 minutes is not a good go. You're not even trying at that point.
Well, I printed out a sheet of paper that had all the i3 commands, and for whatever reason, none of them worked. So whatever control key, whether it was the Alt or the Windows, trying to get it to tile, to stack, to do whatever, it just wasn't having it. And I don't have the patience for that sort of nonsense.
I feel it's not for everybody. It's definitely not.
If it doesn't work the way it's meant to work, what's the bloody point?
Well, it does for me.
Well, not on this machine, so we'll maybe have to give it a go later on.
But did you do, just curious, did you install Manjaro like a typical KDE desktop and then install i3, or did you install Manjaro i3?
I took the community Manjaro i3.
Okay, cool. Well, it should have worked. It should be the default to your Windows key, but that's weird.
Yeah, it should have been, but it just wasn't having it. So as I say, whether it was my display or my keyboard configuration or whatever, I really don't know. But it just wasn't having it. But the frustrating thing was when it did work, and that was the crazy thing about it. Sometimes the keystrokes would work and sometimes they wouldn't. So I don't know if I was having a freezing problem or whether it was just a bad install. I'll give it another go another day.
Yeah.
Well, the modifier key for me was Alt. So
you can set it to what you want in your case because you're installing it from scratch. But if you install like a Manjaro i3, it does the setup for you. So the default key is your Windows key.
Mm-hmm.
But you can go into your config file, Rocco, and change it if you want. If you want a different super key, it switches between those two. It's either Alt or Windows.
See, I'm telling you, YouTube is not saving. Look, YouTube is. I got to get this fixed, dude. YouTube is not saving the information that I put into the live stream. Now, I just saved that 5 minutes ago in the advanced section. I added the new link, and I took out that support the Streamlabs. And I'm looking at the live stream right now, and it's showing the old link, and it's showing the support the Streamlabs info.
Yeah, but have you updated your live stream?
Every week I update it.
You know what?
Every single week.
Did you have this issue when you were in Chrome? You know, it is a Google product. I noticed that like when you're uploading videos, it's way faster with YouTube and Chrome always.
I never even thought about it. I don't see how that would be an issue, do you? I mean, do you think that would be a...
Very well could be.
What's with the hat, Ski? It's a hat, dude. It's something you put on your head. Didn't you ever wear a hat before, Ski?
What's going on, Chip? I'm just glad Ski's trolling you and not me.
Right?
So now that I have Zeb on my case all the time, it's good that Ski's jumping in on you.
Oh. Where's my violin music?
How dare you?
Nice. I love it.
I'm the only one who could do violin music to rock.
Mm-hmm.
So besides i3, Rocco, you been doing anything else with Linux this week?
I've been editing a podcast.
How's that going?
Well,
I know.
The podcast advert is awesome. Did you see your comments?
Oh, the advertisement was great, dude.
I did not see it.
Ski, no, you don't have to come. Don't start. I see where that sentence is going. He's like, and then there's Ryan. Just shut it. Shut it. You don't need to finish that.
You can finish. Go ahead, Ski. Go ahead, finish.
Be brave enough to get on here and say it to my face.
Oh, sorry there, Colin. What I did was, and I shouldn't have. Okay, so like we used Zoom for Destination Linux, and we use it for this, and we want different settings for each one. So like this one, we want the ding on when somebody's in the waiting room, but in the actual Destination Linux podcast, we don't want it on. So I just didn't update it.
So basically, you left him sitting in there.
I left him sitting in the waiting room. Yeah.
Were you getting a little bit of a complex, Colin?
Wait, Ski. Wait, Ski. First, you say what's with the hat with me, and then you tell Ryan he's got a nice hat.
Because it really is.
What's up with that?
This is a really nice hat, and he recognizes quality.
Hey, Rocco.
Yeah.
What's up? What's up?
Yo.
What happened?
I want to see what's under Ryan's hat.
Yo.
Bald head.
You
man.
see,
Very impressive. Shaved head. I gotta shave all the hair off to give the brain some breathing room. You know what I mean? When you're using i3, brain gets hot.
Well, maybe
Colin,
I should be using. I should be using i3 for sure.
Definitely, man. Yeah. This is my heat sink solution.
Yeah, I think the buffering's gone. So there's that.
That's goodness.
So how are we, guys? Where is everyone?
I don't know where everyone is. They're probably reading the wrong link here, Colin.
Trying to find the right link because it hasn't changed on YouTube.
Oh, the link. Yeah, I was wondering. I thought Rocco don't like me anymore.
Well, look, man, if anybody out there knows why YouTube is not updating the live stream description, I've tried every which way possible.
I can tell you why.
Go ahead.
I can tell you why, but I can't because I can't use those words on.
He can type them to you. You know, YouTube's been something else lately. I was just talking about the i3 demonetized video. Like it's a window manager review. Why
they don't want to know
advertising stuff?
They don't want to know that there's people smarter than using Windows or Google out there.
They're like, if it's not Chrome review, that's it. I'm going to do a Chrome OS review and see if that gets demonetized. I bet you it won't.
No, man, it's just the tags. It's just robots.
It's just a bot, exactly. Yeah. And the sooner people realize that and get over themselves, I mean, who seriously, unless you've got like 1 million subscribers, who seriously makes money out of YouTube now?
PewDiePie?
Yeah, as I say, apart from people who've got, I think I read or watched a stream once that said, if you have 1 million views on your video, then you might make $2,000.
Yep.
I mean, but think about it. We spend all this time making this content, right? You know what goes into a video, and editing and all of that. And for the most part, you won't want to ask people to be patrons or to pay money for it. YouTube offers, maybe 100 extra bucks a month. That's some money coming in that helps with the equipment you have to have and all of that. At least helps some offsetting. I'm not making a living off YouTube, but it's money. When they go and demonetize a video, it's annoying. It's obnoxious, especially when they've got all these new rules in which, you've got to have 100,000 views. You've got to have 2,000 subscribers. They're putting all these rules to make it harder for newer people coming in. And then they demonetize stuff off of BS keywords. I mean, the only keywords I can think of, and I know Michael was joking about this, that possibly demonetized it was Dark One. I mean, that's the only, because I was mentioning Dark One in the chat. Maybe that demonetized. Otherwise, it's desktop environment, this or that. It just, I don't want to get on this tangent because we've gone down this road with YouTube before, but I definitely think, I just want an alternative.
There's not gonna be an alternative, dude.
Twitch.
So nobody. People were making a reasonable amount of bucks. I mean, as you say, $40, $50 a month can make a nice big difference to what you're doing at home. So if it was that good, then yeah, that's really, really naughty what they're doing. But I'd never heard that before because everybody talks about demonetization, but nobody goes there and goes, yeah, I was earning $122.50 a month and now I'm earning $60. No one actually physically writes down what they earn.
Yeah.
So all you get is people saying, I'm losing megabucks.
Well, I mean, if I made a video like, look, I make $100 a month and now they demonetize me, I make 90, everyone's going to troll me and be like, oh, $100. So
yeah, but that $100 a month can make a big difference.
It does to me. I enjoy it.
Well, the alternative to having an alternative to YouTube is there's not going to be one because nobody has the audience that YouTube has. It's not that YouTube is great. It's just where everybody goes. You know what I mean? It's where you get heard. It's where you get seen. No other site out there. I don't care. I mean, first of all, Google loses tons and tons of money on YouTube. They don't make money on YouTube. They lose money on YouTube. They prop it up because they can. But there's nobody has that kind of money. I don't care how rich they are to just lose that amount of money for what they're doing. Only Google can do that. And that's why there's not going to be another alternative because Google or because YouTube has the audience. It has the name. You want to watch a video, where do you go? You go to YouTube.
Yep.
Simple as that.
Well, it's the same as searching online, isn't it? Google.
Yeah, exactly.
YouTube it. Google it.
Yeah. Google it. I mean, that's become one of the mainstream words, isn't it? I don't know. Who did this in 1970? Google it.
Yeah.
Even though I use DuckDuckGo, I still say Google it.
Google it. Yeah, absolutely. But you're right about YouTube being the only place to go because after I got banned, I probably went down from 5 to 6 viewers per stream to just 1 or 2. And it's purely because people can't be bothered to go and find me on Twitch.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's the other thing.
And Twitch is popular. It's just not the place to go for. I mean, when you think of Twitch, what do you think of?
Gaming.
You think of gaming. Mm-hmm. You don't think of Twitch for anything else. So it's not like we could put our stuff, like we could put Destination Linux on Twitch, but I don't think it would be anything on Twitch because that's not the name that you go with. Mm-hmm. So it would be a good way to like maybe
I think it's
diversify where we're at.
I think it's only a matter of time when you're looking at the people who watch Twitch primarily as your target. I mean, marketers must love it. It's your whole target audience of 15 to 25. So these teenagers and things are growing up with Twitch, not as much as YouTube. And this is where they're going to go. And now I think Twitch is seeing that, and we may link it to gaming because that's what we know. But now you've got a lot of channels in here. I saw a podcast section. They have a music section now. They have an in real life section. They have a cooking section, and they're starting to play regular TV shows like Carl Sagan's series 24/7 and things like that. Like, I think they're really going after eventually the YouTube market. They're not going to go after it all at once, but I think Twitch will be the place to be.
Well, maybe it will be.
I like to watch Zeb on Twitch, but for 70% of the time, I'm buffering. Just constantly buffering when I watch Zeb on Twitch. But you know what? When you log into Twitch, you got the main game going on. That doesn't buffer. But when I watch Zeb, that buffers. You know, it just annoys me. It's just very annoying that happens.
Yeah. Twitch definitely buffers a lot.
I don't know, man. Like I said, it's cool that we could upload stuff to Twitch. I just don't see it replacing YouTube at any time soon.
You're probably right.
We need a new code word for Linux, by the way. We all need to make a new code word. So when we upload videos for Linux, we don't put Linux under the tag. We need another code word. That way you might not get demonetized.
Oh, yeah. We'll just say Chrome.
Chrome.
Chrome review.
Chromix.
Yeah, Chromix review.
Hi, Barbara.
Hi, Bob. Hi, Bob.
Barb can't hear us. Can you hear us,
no.
Barb?
No. Barb's having colon issues, is she?
Audio problems.
Colon issues.
I can't see who's in the waiting room, though.
So I installed Deepin the other day. Actually, when was it? Thursday or something? Deepin 15.5. Haven't really had a look at it yet, but I actually recorded the whole installer on real hardware with my phone. So it's a bit grainy, but should be all right. But I'm interested to see how that works.
And does it still have problems with the connection to its repos, or have the worldwide sort of like connections now been established? Because that was one of the problems in the early days. You would wait for the repos to come in.
I haven't got that far yet, but the last time I used it, it didn't have that problem. But the only problem I do remember is they got all that list of repos or mirrors, and none of them was showing up as eligible to connect to or whatever. So I don't know what's going on there. So I don't know if it's still got that problem. I haven't got that far yet. So I want to try Deepin for a while and see how it runs. I did run it for about 3 months a couple of years ago. So.
Oh, okay. Finally.
There you are.
It took a while. I don't know what's going on.
We'll blame it on Zoom, Barb.
I think so. I really do, because I tried both links and finally the second one worked again. I don't know.
No, the link's wrong, Barb. The link is wrong in YouTube.
So if there's anybody in chat or anywhere that can tell me why YouTube is not updating the live description, no matter how many times I update it, no matter how many times I save the description, I save the changes, and it still shows up in the live stream with the same stupid info that was put there months ago. support the streamlabs.com blah 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 stuff with the wrong link. I don't get it.
Could it be because they've got so many servers that the synchronization between them is just really bad and poor?
Yes, but I've been trying to. I haven't used Streamlabs in like, I don't know, a month almost, at least a month. So it can't be that the. I mean, maybe 1 week, maybe, but this has been over a month that I haven't used Streamlabs. That I've updated the link. Well, the link went out of date in December, so this is at least the third week that we've been doing this. That I've added the new link to it. So. I don't know. Either way, that's why nobody has the right link, because they're all looking at the one that's in the YouTube description and it's not the right one.
Yeah, but the one that you put in Telegram, that one didn't work either.
What?
Yeah, that's what the problem was.
You've been hanging out with me too much, Rocco. Make a mistake.
Hold on.
It took me a while to get in. It really did. I've been sitting here for like probably the last 5 to 7 minutes going crazy, trying to figure out which link was it.
Yeah, I'm just looking at the link in Telegram. It's the wrong one again.
So the one in Telegram was wrong. That was what the problem was then. Okay.
Yeah, the one in Telegram is the same as the one on YouTube.
Right, and that's last week's. Or last year's.
93,480. What the heck?
Yeah, and that's the one that I used, and I couldn't get in, and then I asked, and I think
that one doesn't. Yeah, that one doesn't work.
No, it doesn't.
Is 31827 at the end.
Yeah, that's the one I used this second time.
That's the one you gave me, Rocco, on chat.
But the first time I used it, it asked me, was I joining by phone?
Oh.
Yeah.
So that one should be the right link? Either way, YouTube won't updates.
Works.
Yeah, 827 works. Okay, so I just put that through the Telegram, but like, I don't know. YouTube itself won't update the link regardless.
Which is really frustrating, because that's the place I always go to. I look for last week's stream and then just click the link.
Yeah.
Yep, I know.
But actually, it's showing it's that old link then. And it's in the current, Big Daddy Linux Live 1/2018. It's in that description.
Scrap, what's happening?
Scrap.
Yeah, Scrap.
Yeah.
I got to warn Scrap that this is a rated G channel here.
Right? I apologize for that last week.
It's all good.
You were stuck in your car, so it's understandable.
Hey, Scrap, people on my channel saw my jack setup in the i3 video, and I keep getting asked about it. Then I saw people asking about it in Telegram. We got to do that video, man.
I know.
I'm like, I'm not going to do the video and tell people how to do jack when you're the one who sat there for 3.5 hours showing me how to do it. So
I do, but I don't want to tell you what my technical issue is, because it's one of those anomalies in KDE that I've never seen. It's
you know what you should do?
Wow, there's an anomaly in KDE. That's amazing.
That's why he didn't want to tell us.
Yeah, because I
can't believe that.
It's funny. The problem I was having with my system on my main install, which I'm using now, where the kernel would update, but every time it'd boot to a new kernel, the graphics were all goofy. Well, I had not a bad install, but a bad uninstall of Anbox, and it left some garbage, and it did something to the DKMS, which rebuilds like your drivers. Every time you get a new kernel, it has to rebuild the drivers for your video or other things. Well, for some reason, it created some weird error, and I had to go in and manually delete these Anbox directories, and then DKMS would be like, oh yeah, we got all these things installed, and then I could auto install, and it rebuilt everything, and it was fine. So that wasn't a KDE issue, but it was like, I fixed it. Now this is good. But my fresh install I'm trying to use for all the tutorial stuff is when I bring up the Pulse Audio management thing where it shows all of your different IO and whatever and applications, it has absolutely nothing in there. It's totally blank. I had to go into Discovery, whatever the software manager is, and install a Pulse Audio GTK app that doesn't even look like the rest of KDE. So the integrated Pulse Audio app just totally barren, but everything exists. It's all there. Like, God dang. Why?
You've been having fun then, in other words.
All the fun.
Yeah.
Those types of issues happen in KDE. It's too bad Michael's not here to defend them.
You'd be like, I don't know what you're talking about, Rocco.
Well, where is he?
I have no idea.
I'm surprised he's not here.
He's late as usual.
Yeah.
I think he's busy working on his website.
I swapped my hard drive on this laptop yesterday. I had to. My daughter had her 21st birthday yesterday, which is a big celebration over here in Australia.
Awesome.
And so she wanted to download her music. So she wanted her Windows 10. So I had to put on this laptop, swap the hard drive out. Now, listen to this. We'll play music last night via Bluetooth with a Samsung soundbar. Everything went fine for a while. And then we had the cake celebrations and all that. We went back to the music, and all of a sudden, driver error. It wouldn't connect. I had a driver error. Now,
not on Windows, you didn't.
And I thought, you got to be kidding me, right? And so we just went to the phones and started. I think the young ones were using Spotify or whatever they do. I just thought, I just can't wait to get Linux back on this laptop because it was driving me crazy.
I think 21 is universally a big birthday, so very happy birthday to your daughter.
Yep.
Yeah, thank you. So it's celebrated in America as well, 21?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. But do you celebrate 18th as well or not?
Yep.
Yeah, because 18 over here means you're legal to drink, but over in America it's 21, isn't it? Legal to drink?
In every state by state. It used to be some states like New York was the last state to go to 21 for drinking.
That's crazy.
18.
I don't know why they do that.
What?
You can go to war and die for your country, and you can't have a beer.
That's right.
Up until the early 70s, you couldn't even vote if you were under 21. But they could draft you and send you to
That's
Vietnam.
why they changed it so you could.
Yes, exactly.
Oh, that's just ridiculous, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. And then New York State, what they did is that any state that didn't change the drinking age to 21, they were taking away federal highway taxes, federal highway revenue from. So that's what they were going to do, and that's what pushed New York. Otherwise, New York would have stayed 18, and all the states around were all 21.
Right, okay.
And it was I think it was the last state, or second to last state.
Oh, you learn something every day, don't you, I suppose? Yeah. So, yep, there was a few sherbets being had yesterday, I must say.
Holy hell.
I was running around. Rocco, yes. Sup.
It's a hat, dude.
I've never seen you with one on in my life.
It's a hat. What do you mean? We had hat week.
Yeah.
We had hat week.
Okay. Did I miss something?
Yeah.
Sorry about that.
Yeah, I must have missed that. So I've got my hat on. It's a bald wig.
Yeah. I'm wearing my hat on my face.
How about one that's almost finished?
I think it's gone out of place. Hang on.
There you go. Close enough.
Nice.
I have a request for scrap.
That one's almost finished.
What's up?
Rose, I was on English Bob's live stream I was watching it, and Rose was in there, and
now I have
we were trying to look up Scrap's channel, and we kept coming up with these kids, and there's a list of them. So if you guys wouldn't mind maybe dropping a link in here,
Yeah, we can do that. Hold on. Stand by. I will put a link in a second.
I don't know how long I'm going to last. I think English Bob gave me his cold.
I was telling Rocco the same thing. I had a cold again, too.
Yeah, it's like the never-ending cycle here, man. It's been months.
It's winter.
Won't stop.
Yeah.
I had a virus all week. I really, in my 52 years on this planet, never been that sick in my life. Must have been the Thailand bug. I don't know. The whole family.
Wow.
Terrible. So I'm glad to be healthy again. Everything tastes good today. It's great.
Isn't that nice? Get your taste buds back.
Yeah.
Oh, I just got my taste buds back today. It's sensational.
Crazy.
Hold on. You got a 2-channel scrap, or is it just the one?
It's that one. It's just scrap jaw right now. There's so many.
All right.
There's so many SJ. There's so many SJ Studios ones that other people have and stuff. I was like, you know what? Mine's unique enough, and I'll just go word of mouth right now. And I can't even put a custom link in until I get like 1,000 subscribers or something.
Okay, I found Scrapjaw. I was wondering. I figured that was probably yours, but I thought you had the SJ Studios, and they kept coming up with these look like 10-year-old kids.
It's me. I got the little screaming heady guy there. I'm in the chat.
I'm pretty sure I'm subscribed to you. I just checked that. I'm pretty sure I am.
I live streamed a couple weeks ago.
But there's no videos on your channel.
No.
Okay, that's probably what was throwing me, because I told her, I said it was kind of a new channel. I said I don't think he's got any content up yet, but you know,
working on it.
It's just Scrapjaw, is it? Just Scrapjaw.
Mm-hmm. SKRAPPJAW.
Yeah. Where's the guitar, dude?
Oh no, I'm gonna have to subscribe to that.
Where's the guitar? It's on the wall. And you can see my amps back here. I've been rocking my hollow body for today though.
I was gonna say better than seeing the inside of your car. Right?
So Matt, what's this? I hear you love Zoran.
But about as much as you like Solus for your one-day challenge.
Nice.
Hey, I liked Solus. It just didn't like me after I broke it.
Precisely my point.
Hey, I've got Zoran on a DVD somewhere.
Your distros, come on.
Well, Barb, it's like sometimes you just want to install a program and you can't, but you try anyway.
And
specifically Lightworks, when he's told that the package is too old and they don't maintain it.
So you try to edit files that aren't supposed to be edited, and
I'll let you know what you're doing.
And you break them. So.
Something about messing around with your root stuff and stuff not working.
Yeah, you know that thing that KD doesn't allow you to do anymore? Yeah, that's what I did.
I need to interrogate you, Rocco, because you put something up on Telegram this morning I've seen, but nobody answered it. You said, guess what I've installed on my computer? Nobody said anything.
Nobody said anything, dude.
I didn't see
Not even Brian said anything.
So what is it that you installed?
What have you done?
Well, I told Ryan earlier in the stream I installed i3 over top of on top of Monte.
Nice. I haven't even messed with this.
Using i3 as your composite.
Why do you think all of a sudden he's got the hat back on? He looks cooler.
That explains everything.
Yeah, no, I'm not running i3 right now.
He's smoother. His talk is smoother. He's getting words out quicker. His intelligence IQ have gone up.
So he's doing everything you don't, Ryan?
No, in other words, he's an i3 user.
So I did install it. I went into it and it asked for, if you wanted to set your own config or if we wanted to do the defaults. So I did defaults and messed around with it for a couple minutes, but I didn't have a whole lot of time with it. So I got to learn all the key shortcuts and all that stuff. So of course, then when I boot back or log back into Mate,
everything's broken.
All of my windows were in the shape that they were in i3, and
that's great.
My notifications up top are no longer the theme of Mate; they're in the i3 theme. It's so ugly.
Oh, you thrashed it.
Want you to go back.
You trashed it.
You trashed it.
I didn't break it. It's working fine. Okay.
Okay, it doesn't look pretty anymore.
It doesn't look pretty anymore.
I was gonna say sorry for you. You aesthetically broke it.
That's a big deal too.
It looks great in my house.
Now, Rocco, do
That's
you kind of get the idea here? You shouldn't be installing things.
You blame. Look, Barb, you're in the middle. Okay.
I know. I'm
on
stuck
my
right in the
screen.
middle.
Okay, so you can blame everybody around you for this. Or I'm going to blame everybody around you for this because
Rocco, that would include you then, buddy.
they talked me into this stupid stuff.
They talked me into peer pressure.
The way Telegram looks at the moment, we could pretty much say, here's a story of a man named Rocco.
That's good.
Rocco, don't let him get to you. You're doing the right thing, bro.
I'm actually intimidated by Rocco's intelligence right now.
Everyone should be.
Everybody is, right? I mean, you just install i3 and just automatically become more intelligent, right?
True.
But in all seriousness, that was a good video, Ryan, on i3.
Oh, thank you.
For as much crap as I give you, I always do it jokingly, of course.
I know. No, that was,
I don't.
I was
I don't,
surprised
Matt.
how many people were into it for gaming. There's a lot of comments about people wanting to game with it. I think because of the idea that you can move the game around monitors is a big thing for folks.
Yeah. I think essentially seeing how it's like windowless mode for the entire UI it makes it intriguing for a lot of people.
Yeah, it's the perfect distro for Rocco. Really, is his theming to have nothing on your desktop. Nothing.
Yes, but here's the thing. It is and it isn't, because like I really do love the way it puts the windows and everything, that you can do things like that, but it's really not pretty. I mean, there's nothing pretty about i3.
Pretty is relative.
Yeah, well, there's nothing. I don't care whose eyes it is. There's nothing pretty about i3. It's just plain.
They call it ricing on Reddit. If you go to i3 ricing, which is kind of like what they call it ricing, because that's, you can take a Japanese car and you pimp it all out. You know, they call them rice burners, whatever. But anyways, there's a whole Reddit sub dedicated to it, and there's some stuff way more advanced than I can do that people are doing with i3. It makes it amazing. Like,
honestly, you know, my first impression of it was, Ryan, when I saw the video you did the other day, and this was just a cross-passing thought. It looks like a prettier version of the old DOS type.
The Windows 3.1.
Ryan, look at Linux and other stuff's comment in the chat.
That's ridiculous.
What did he say? Get back here.
Using 1.8 of 1.9, the 3 gigabyte swap. This stream stops every few seconds. Hard drive's working full time. Should I install GNOME?
A hard drive? Who uses hard drives?
Like maybe he doesn't have enough RAM.
Wait, if anybody doesn't know by now, Dave from Linux and other stuff loves GNOME. He absolutely loves it.
Who willingly installs GNOME? Apparently, Dave.
I expected Rocco's announcement to be he was on GNOME, like Pop OS.
Oh, yeah, sorry.
Well, Pop OS is one beautiful system, dude. I'm sorry.
But you know what I'm saying, right? Do you remember? Well, it's before your day, but have you ever experienced working in a DOS world?
I worked in DOS constantly. Actually, I grew up in my dad's shop. We, before Windows became a thing, we had custom OS that he had written that we sold on our computers and stuff. It was all through DOS.
And so honestly, I think it was a better environment.
Linux pretty easy because DOS.
It was a better environment to work in, I thought. So it just that's what actually was, like I said, it was a crossing thought. I thought, God, it kind of reminds me of the days of DOS, only dressed up. I mean, I could see where.
You mean in the way like tiling the terminals specifically, or?
Well, the way you could tile stuff and move, because that's pretty much kind of like what DOS in theory was like, is you had to go into specific different
section
environments. Yeah, So and that's what that kind of reminded me of, and I love using the keyboard for commands. I was cracking a joke. I felt bad. There was you probably saw I know you always watch your comments. There was one gentleman, I think that I don't know if it's hard to tell with text if he thought, because I was cracking a joke about being an old guy and more, but that's not really what it was. It's just, it depends on how much work you want to put into something or whatever.
Absolutely.
But in general, keyboard commands are a whole lot faster than using a mouse because you don't have to move your hand off.
Yeah.
And
even with Mate, I'm always using the Windows command, and typing and just
and I can just navigate around without having to use my mouse.
That's kind of the same point for people who use like the track points on the ThinkPad stuff, because you're not taking your hands off the home row, so you can.
Yep.
See, we got one other i3 user, Harry, in here. He said it's a godsend, man.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So what's the difference? What's the difference in setting up the keyboard shortcuts in i3 as opposed to just running a normal OS?
It's probably a little easier in a normal OS, I would think. It's a little more. It's a little less intuitive.
It's a little different than keyboards like in a normal OS where you're just launching a program. I'm launching a program and I could tell it to always launch in Workspace 6 on my screen. On my
okay, yes. Okay,
I could, and then I can have it launch 6 different programs and have one horizontal, one vertical, 3 boxes up here in a single workspace. Now, not everything works with that, right? But like I have a social media workspace, I have an audio workspace for Jack and all that stuff set up. I have web browsing, you know, so every time I boot in my computer as well, the second I boot in, everything launches and goes to its space. So I don't have to do anything. My social media is over in the workspace it's supposed to be in. And the first thing it starts off with is my web browser in Workspace 1, because generally I hit the web the first time I get on my computer. So it's kind of like it takes time to set it all up the way you want it. But once you have it, it's instantaneous to start getting to work. You know,
in theory,
it's really nice.
Do that with regular distros anyway, too. I mean, you could, in theory, set it up on certain workspaces. But that, I think, with what you're doing, you know, for the type of thing you're doing with the audio and the video production, stuff like that, it's probably a better work environment. It's probably something that would be more substantial than the average user would want to use. But yeah, I think for somebody that's in a production type workflow, I think it's probably a better fit.
Yeah, go ahead.
I was going to say it's definitely what you're doing is definitely a great workflow, because it's just bam, turn it on and you go.
Yeah.
GNOME has a great workflow, dude. I'm sorry.
What, iPad workflow?
You can laugh all you want, but GNOME has a great workflow.
Just remember, there will be no icons on your desktop.
There's a
I don't use icons on
use the,
or notifications.
I don't use icons.
I don't either. I like
it's annoying.
They are. I like a clean desktop that way.
Yep.
Yeah, there's a workflow in GNOME.
Yes, there's a workflow in GNOME, Matt.
Don't really? Destroy his delusion. Come on.
Could have fooled me.
The one single thing that annoys me with GNOME is that global menu. Why, when I've got an application in my bottom right-hand corner, do I have to travel 40 inches to the top left-hand corner to get to file menu? And they've made
we want to be Apple.
Turn it off now.
Yeah,
they've made it so you can't turn it off. I would use Pop OS. It's absolutely beautiful.
Guys, don't pick on GNOME. He'll switch from i3 back to GNOME.
You can't turn off global menu. It's crazy.
You can with an extension, Seb.
Which is no longer supported and doesn't work in Pop OS.
Nicely.
I'll find one.
But the actual OS itself, Pop OS, is really, really pretty.
Yes, it is.
Yes,
very well themed.
You know, Rocco, pretty soon you're going to be making your own extensions here. Might as well be making your own custom.
I might as well if nobody else will, for crying out loud. So, Elvis, you run Gen 2 with i3. Wow.
Talk about an IQ.
Right? Talk about a Mensa guy. Sheesh.
What's he doing? Hacking PlayStations?
Yeah, well, he said he says he hasn't used the mouse in forever. So
yeah, you don't have to.
Yeah, well, when I was on GNOME, I didn't use the mouse hardly at all. You didn't have to.
No, you don't have to. No, you just type and press enter and done.
Yeah, it's the same. It's the same scenario. Even though it gets the hate.
So has anyone seen the new news on VirtualBox?
Yeah,
what about
all the VirtualBox edition stuff's gonna get baked into the kernel?
Yeah. Oh yeah, I did hear that. Yeah,
that's a great idea.
It's a great idea, and it'll be much easier to actually get it up and running properly.
It will.
So, yeah, that's a great thing.
So, there was another thing I was going to ask you guys as well.
What you should install next?
i3.
Did anyone take the survey for Thunderbird? That's what I wanted to ask.
Anyone
did.
No.
You should.
Yeah, which survey was this?
What do we need to fix, basically?
Yeah. It was just getting your feedback on what it looks like now. I laughed. The questions there, like, what was the first one was like, do you find this do you find this look modern or not modern, or something stupid like that? And then there was another question that said, do you find this look trustworthy?
Trustworthy, yeah.
What the heck does that mean? do you find the way this looks trustworthy?
I don't trust you, Circle.
Yeah, like I don't get that question, but okay, whatever.
Suspicious.
That's right.
But I did take it, and I did tell him my opinions on it.
What, the Thunderbird is great, but it looks butt ugly.
Actually, Thunderbird's supposed to get some updates.
To him too. You tweeted
if you could like snapshot it down, yeah, that's pretty much what I said.
But have you guys not tried the beta version that's supposed to have the new looks on it?
No, I haven't, because my emails are too important to try a beta version on. My luck, it would just like delete all of my stuff, and then I wouldn't have
it. I was gonna say, with your luck, you'd try installing it, and you'd have to switch distros again.
Right? No, but then the emails would be gone forever, or something stupid like that. So, I'd rather not do a beta.
So it just leaves the emails on the server. I haven't downloaded an actual email to my desktop in years. I just leave everything on the server and just use it to look at it.
I should probably do that, but okay. So how slow is that when you're going back to a folder, like say a folder that you haven't looked at for a while, nothing's downloaded to your computer, and you look at an email from like a year ago? Does it bring it in fast, or I mean, is it like instant or what? Because
it's quick. It's quick enough. I mean, obviously, it's going to take a few seconds. Like when you go to a brand new web page, it's going to take a second or two to load. But once it's loaded, it's just there and visible like anything else.
Time is precious, Seb. I mean,
what, a couple of 3 seconds?
So
I never even thought about not downloading them, Seb.
So just talking on email clients, I just to reconfirm, the IMAP. Do you use IMAP or do you use POP?
IMAP.
IMAP, which actually takes your emails off the server, doesn't it?
No,
right?
No, they stay on the server.
It's normally POP3 that downloads them.
POP will take them off the server.
I thought it was the other way around. Okay.
No, IMAP leaves it on there.
IMAP leaves them on the server. POP takes them off.
Oh, okay. All right.
Because
POP was around before IMAP was.
Whatever you basically with an IMAP account, whatever you do on your whatever you do in Thunderbird, if you delete it, it'll delete it from the server. Mm-hmm. It just syncs.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's right. So if you put it in a folder, it puts it in the folder and all that.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Which is what it does with my Hotmail. Yeah.
It's probably not the right and words to use, but I always consider IMAP as internet map. You're mapping your mailbox to what you're seeing on the internet. That's the way. That's the way I've always remembered it. Leaves it on the server.
Yep.
Well, the advantage of it is that you can access those emails from any device that you use.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas with POP, you can't. Unless you have all of them set, except for one, all of them set for left on the server.
Oh, that's right, except for one. One more.
Except for one, that's how I do it.
That's exactly right, yep.
And that's how I do it.
Because I stopped using a proper email address. I still got one, but a home email address. I just went to Hotmail years ago because I did so much distro hopping. It was no good for me to have a home address email because I couldn't. You had to keep saving it if it was possible. So I just used Hotmail and stuck with it. So that's what I'm stuck with, Hotmail.
Yeah, so well, I usually.
Sorry?
If yours is so old, is it a .com rather than a .au or something?
Yeah, at hotmail.com, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, same as mine. But anyone going on now will get a .co.uk, or you guys will get a .au or whatever it is.
Yeah, I think my son has. Because it used to come out with at Hotmail, at Live, and then it went to at Outlook. I think it is at the moment, isn't it?
Yes.
So it changed 3 different times. It was originally at Hotmail, then it went to at Live, and then it went to at Outlook. Is that right? I'm pretty sure that's how it went.
It is Outlook.com now, or Outlook.co. Whatever.
That's right. Yes. Yes.
Hey, I still use Google Mail.
Google Mail.
That's the main one for me now.
Well, I could swap from Google, but I have so much in there right now.
Yeah, that's
I use Thunderbird, and I usually copy over the .thunderbird folder because I got like 12 email accounts in there that I don't feel like resetting up.
Yeah, fair enough. So that's just the home that in the home folder, the .thunderbird. Is that what you copy?
Yep.
Right. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
Just like the .mozilla folder for Firefox. If you just copy that whole folder and bring it over to your new distro, you'll have everything you had.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, and then just copy it over to your home folder.
What folder is that?
.thunderbird.
.thunderbird in home.
Sweet. And .firefox as well. Is it .firefox?
Right. Unless you're syncing
.mozilla.
It's .mozilla. Unless you're syncing. Unless you with Firefox, you do the Firefox sync.
Yeah. You can still do the folder, but yeah, it's just as easy to do the sync as well.
The sync. And then the other thing. Go ahead.
Going, Bob.
Oh, I was going to say, right. The other thing that happens is if you, I noticed this, if you use the sync in Firefox, and then you wipe off your machine and let's say put a new install of the same OS, it will not tell you that you have to confirm it because it will still see it. But if you change distros, then it's going to say, confirm by email when you sync it.
But Colin, if you're distro hopping the whole time, you need to start learning about the symlinks, because I just have all of my stuff that I need on a hard disk, totally separate from wherever Linux is sitting.
And that's what I do.
I got a cool trick with that.
I'm going to look at the server rather than looking at my home folder, and just symlink them.
Yes. No, I do that on this one, but I hop that much. I don't actually bother to do that. Normally what I do, if it was all permanent, I would set my data up into the FS tab file, and then it mounts automatically. And then I would symlink on each distro, each partition, back to that data partition.
I wish there was an easy way to FS tab. I really hate setting it up every time I install a system for somebody. Somebody wants an SSD for their boot, and they want a hard disk to put their pictures on. And then when they turn on, like, where's my storage drive? I don't know where my pictures are. And you got to go to click it every time. It's like, stop. Just somebody put a little thing in there in the OS so you can just set auto mount. Just a checkbox. Please, somebody do that.
Maybe a little script.
KDE has that.
Yeah, now with Ubuntu, I got like the laptop I'm using now has 2 hard drives in it. With Ubuntu, it just auto mounts the second one without a problem. Everything else, I have to like do the F.
Yeah, well, where's the auto mount in KDE?
I don't know. I don't use it. I use Mate.
It's not in Dolphin. It's in the settings.
See, why isn't it in Dolphin? I should be able to right-click my drive and do it. Auto mount.
No, it'll mount it, but it won't auto mount it.
It won't. Yeah.
If you go into the mount options, like I have the storage separate on there for my boot stuff, and it's turned to default by mount at system startup, and it never does.
Scrap.
I have to still. So what I did is I dropped it up in the top of the taskbar. So all I do is just one click, and it brings it back up. But it's still the point. You have to go up there and do that one click. You shouldn't do that. So I was starting to think maybe I should record it as a rush.
Yeah. I found it.
Yeah, you got it. I was going to say there's a guy that does YouTube videos on KDE, does settings videos. You may want to watch him.
I will, because they bury this stuff. I mean, the KDE's got a lot of stuff in there.
Just check his stuff out at BigDaddyLinks.com. You can check his stuff out, and there's all kinds of settings videos that.
Yeah, if you want to set up auto mount easily, GNOME disks, tick the auto box, and it'll auto fill in FS tab for you as well.
They do need to. That guy does need to update his stuff, though. Just saying.
Yeah, he did a video the other week. First time in ages.
I know.
It was good.
Yeah, it was a good video.
Colin, we're getting that feedback again, just so you know.
Oh, no. Hang on, let me sort that out. Sorry.
Linus, they don't want to see your butt.
Ryan, Dustin was looking for you.
I'm here.
I think he wants to play Rust.
Oh my gosh, dude, I've been playing so much Rust with him.
Oh, I gotta tell you, Rocco, I'm loving and I'm hating this keyboard. I love it for when I'm gaming. I hate it for when I'm out here because I forget and I go type, and every time I look up, I'm been muted.
Yeah. Well, I'm sorry, dude. I just try to do it so that
I get it. I get it. I'm starting to think I probably should have a secondary keyboard just for when I'm on here because it's
a quiet one.
I'm just trying to type.
Well, I think it's more. It may not. It's not just the keyboard because like I have the same keyboard and I hope that you guys aren't hearing like every time I'm typing.
But I don't push the keys out. Even when I
can't hear it.
But I think it's the way the mic is positioned, where it's at.
Oh,
like if your mic is near that keyboard, it's going to pick it up. But mine's facing the opposite direction, so you don't hear it. So
yeah, maybe that's what it is because I'm using the webcam mic right now.
Yeah.
It's going to be everything.
Wireless Bluetooth headset.
Everything.
But for whatever reason, I'm still having some hiccups with working. So, and I don't like wearing something on my head all the time either. But
Ryan, you were on the Rust server, Dustin says.
Yeah, we got our own server, so if people want to play Rust, we're playing it.
You mean you left here and went to Rust?
I haven't left here and go. Oh, yeah, last week.
Yeah, you.
Oh, you said I was on the Rust server when my camera was off. I got you.
Yeah.
It's not a bad idea. Can I play Rust while I do this? No.
yeah, well, last week you were uploading videos while you were on here, so
Yeah, it's good,
the
Colin.
notification that popped up, and I looked at when it was loaded. I go, well,
Hey man, I multitask. You know, I gotta get those bucks.
Something I have trouble with.
It's only $20. That's cool.
Rust is a lot of fun, and Dustin has our own server set up, so
It's
really
not fun.
helps from people killing you all the time. And,
It's not fun.
When you're first starting out.
But it's for
Is this the
Linux.
server that nobody else can connect to?
No, we can give you the link so y'all can come in.
And kill you when you're asleep.
Hit up
Yes. You see how evil he is?
leave them with no clothes on. But is that a Steam game? I'm not familiar with it.
Yeah, it's Steam.
We really want Rocco to play.
That's no, it's not gonna happen, dude. I'm sorry.
You're gonna stay with
your
Rocket
kind of
League.
gameplay.
Hold on, Dustin. I'll get you the right link. Anyway, Colin, it's back. I don't know why, but it's back.
Oh, just a moment.
I hear it.
Do you have a YouTube window open with the volume not muted, maybe?
No, the volume's always muted on my YouTube. But let me.
It doesn't always happen though. Like it does. It stops for a while and then it starts again. So I don't know what the deal is.
You need to get with Scrap and set up Jack for you.
It's just probably
let's get jacked, man. Let's get jacked.
Jacked.
Is that changed or it's still the same?
Seems
No,
better.
it's gone now.
No,
It's gone. It's there.
It's there. It doesn't always sound like it's there, but it's there.
What about now? No.
Where are your speakers? Oh, you got headsets, so it shouldn't. Yeah. Are you listening? Are you listening through your headset for your audio?
Yeah, my headset. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm listening to audio through the headset.
Yeah,
Definitely sounds like you've got some other sort of channel running in the background.
He's watching my videos while he's on.
On i3, yeah.
So
out.
Blues Ranger says he's trying to get Rambox to work. You guys use Rambox?
What's that?
I was just going to ask.
It's a
Android
multi.
I think.
No, it's that multi. What do you call thing for all of the chat programs?
Oh,
like it can get Telegram, Twitter.
Oh, that I tried that once.
It'll pick up all of your
like
accounts.
I was gonna say, do note the
Oh, it's like Trillion.
Yeah, it's like almost like a Trillion.
If anybody remembers Trillion,
I do. It was awesome at the time.
It was when you had AIM and ICQ and Yahoo and MSN.
Yes, it was.
Does anyone still use ICQ?
And it all even did IRC.
Does anybody use any of the ones he just mentioned?
Probably somebody out there.
I think IRC.
Oh, sorry, Dustin. Sorry.
I still
we got
do
the bell
IRC.
off. There he is. See, Dustin's got a hat on too.
It must be cold.
You guys have missed hat night here for some reason.
You gotta play Rust, man. You start wearing a beanie.
Oh,
that's right.
Oh, he's even grown it out. All right. We even got the beard patrol on tonight.
Oh, if we're doing hats.
This one.
Hold on.
Pete, where's your hat, dude?
Or this one.
He's in his Pirates of the Caribbean mode.
Yes, he is.
Savvy.
There we go.
Captain Jack.
So Rocco, you bought Rust? I know you did.
Hold on. Let me. No, I didn't.
You're missing out, man.
I was going to say, Dustin, I think that odds are
I'm telling you, we have to get Call of Duty World War II working, dude. We have to play that.
Oh, man.
You can't deny our request and then tell us the game you want to play. That's not how it works.
Dude, I don't
so
like
who doesn't
Rust.
have a hat?
You don't know that. You don't own it.
I don't like Rust. I can tell you that I don't like Rust.
You don't know that.
I'm pretty sure you said you didn't like Rocket League when you first looked at it, too.
Yes, but Rust is not my kind of game.
That.
There's a guy that talked me into playing this Go for the Kill mod type game, and he talked it up so good, like it was so awesome, and it was terrible.
Man.
It was terrible.
What is it?
It was a mod. You have to keep in mind somebody took the time, a user, to go build a mod to make CS:GO Battle Royale. And he was setting up the servers himself, so it took a while to get into the servers. But this person didn't ask you for any.
Oh, wow.
It was free. And he was still building it out, and everybody was going crazy over it. So, you know, it was a cool mod, man.
Yeah, especially the round where you couldn't pick up a gun.
Were you just getting spawn killed, Rocco?
That doesn't look
No, well, the maps are really small compared to something like PUBG. So you're parachuting in, and there's guys like all around you. So it's like a race to find the gun that's like nearest to you, and you know you die instantly.
Even pick up a gun.
Nah, it's like no.
It was just one time though. It was a little bug, a
little minor bug.
A little minor bug.
Wait. Then you die instantly. Then you have to wait. You have to sit there and wait to the guy you're playing with, or till you can connect to the next match. So you spend probably, I don't know, 5 to 8 minutes trying to get in to play the game, and then you play a 30-second round, and then you get to wait another 10 minutes till you get into the game.
Crap.
Waste of time.
There's a bug. Uninstall it all. That's it. I'm done.
Yep.
Oh, wait. I have to uninstall Linux now, too. Oh, crap.
I tried PUBG. I tried PUBG on my Xbox, and I loaded it, and it looked fantastic. And I flew in the plane, and I jumped out, and I landed on my parachute, and I ran to the combat zone, bang, dead.
Yes.
So where did the guy get his gun from that I didn't have a gun? So I started again. I went in a plane. I flew down the 4 minutes in my parachute, ran to the combat zone, bang, dead.
That sounds like Battlefield.
That's exactly what PUBG's about, dude.
Yeah, that even sounds like Battlefield. That's what would happen to me when I used to try playing Battlefield. I'd just spawn and be bang, dead. Spawn, bang,
spawn
dead.
kills,
Spawn, bang, dead.
That's like, because you're not playing tactically in Battlefield.
Oh, right. Oh, yeah, that's because I spawn and I die before I can even hit like the keyboard button.
See, you got to know how to play tactically.
You sure
in
make
Battlefield.
excuses for those Windows games, Rocco.
You got to know how to play tact.
Hey, you come on to Rust, and I'll show you tactful.
Yeah.
I'm looking at the intro video of Rust right now, and the first thing it opens up is with a guy butt naked on a beach, and another guy shooting at him with a bucket on his head.
Yep.
Sounds about right. There's the naked. Summed up the whole game.
So I really don't. I really don't care for somewhere where you spend hours in a game and then you could like not play it for a couple days and come back and everything's gone.
Yeah, exactly.
Like
that's what's awesome
like,
about it.
That's like not cool.
It's a challenge.
Yeah, but it's a challenge.
But the thing is, there's so many different ways you can play that game. Like you can roll out being buck naked with a rock, and you can go raiding, play the pirate, and then try to get stuff. You can try to farm. You can try to build up.
Yeah, strategy, Rocco.
Yeah, strategy.
Come on. You got to give it a try before you say you don't like
it. He's in denial.
I'll just keep jumping in my truck and causing mayhem.
No, too many games have gone through Steam that I've been told are going to be awesome, and then I know that they're not. I know that it's a game I won't play, and I get it anyway, and then it's like, no.
Bridge
I ain't playing this game.
Hey, you know what you're doing? You're supporting Linux by buying it on Linux.
Great. I'm just throwing away money here. No, it's not going to happen.
It's not throwing away money. It's being productive to good developers for supporting Linux.
Yeah, Rocco.
All right.
I thought you liked Linux.
Yeah.
We'll just get every person on this video chat right now to go buy Rust, and then Rocco's going to come here next week, and it's going to be one box in the corner because everyone's on the Rust server.
So in other words, we're all screaming Rust.
I wouldn't do that to you, Rocco. I may play while on the Rust server, but I would never do that to you. I'd be here.
Ryan, for some reason, I don't believe you.
I wonder why that is, Matt. You just have this feeling, huh?
I just
Ryan, you puckered those lips so hard.
No.
Just have this feeling.
These guys pick on me over here, Dustin. I don't know what the problem is.
Ski Meister saying you have to be i3 smart to play Rust.
Yeah, man. That's a good point.
Hotkeys.
Because guess what? Hotkey. i3 a lot, Rocco.
Coming from Ski, I don't think that's sincere at all.
Dustin likes i3. Yeah, I know.
I do. I'm not hiding that one. I like it.
Look at that.
Wow,
but he wasn't here. He wasn't here to hear me tell everybody that I did install it.
Oh, how far did that go? How was your strategy on that one?
The strategy was
Not very
I get to the first screen where it says, "Do you want to generate your config?" I say no, do the defaults, and I come to this screen. It looks like a big terminal.
There you go.
I'm like, okay, what do I do now? So I get my phone out. I get my phone out. I'm like, i3 this or whatever, and then like this guy has a great tutorial, and it wasn't Das Geek.
Oh.
Wow.
Hey, Michael, I'm glad you showed up. I'm just leaving.
Oh, wow.
What's that rotten smell?
I was going to say, and Ryan, you say I'm mean?
I know, man.
You can't leave now, Das Geek. You've got to prompt Ryan. You've got to prompt Michael.
Oh, yeah, Michael, we need to talk.
Uh-oh.
Listen.
Michael's waiting for you to tell him what to say.
Listen, Michael, it's not appropriate for you to constantly show up late. We would really like you to be here on time. Next week, we'll be really monitoring closely to make sure you show up here on time. Show some responsibility.
It's always on time for Michael.
See, there's real time and then there's Michael's time.
Oh, man.
Oh, my God.
That's good stuff. Anyway, I didn't get very far, Dustin. I installed it over Mate, so I just
didn't you say it trashed your desktop?
No, it trashed his theming.
It didn't trash it.
Oh, that's even worse. That's worse.
It didn't trash it. It just changed it.
It trashed it.
So when I logged back into Mate, all of my windows were exactly the same height or size, space, or whatever. Tiling was in i3.
That sounds perfect.
And my notifications at the top were no longer the Mate theme; they were the i3 ugly theme.
Rocco, I think the thing really what he's trying to say is that it went from 4 pixels off to now 7 pixels.
It's really bad. It's really bad.
More like 7.5.
You're trying to say the difference was 3.
The machine that must always be up and running, and you put i3 over the top.
My puns are off tonight.
And that is strategy.
Yes. So yes, you are correct, Zeb.
He trusts
failure in execution. Then
is it strategy, or with all due respect, is it just plain stupidity to do that to your main distro? You break it, you got to.
Rocco's a masochist.
Yeah.
Dumb.
Yeah, pretty much.
I would call it great strategy, poor execution, but that's just me.
I just call it user error.
So between the keyboard and the chair?
Yep.
Hey,
pretty
listen,
much.
I've done stupid stuff because that's how you learn. But it's just like, man, when you can't come back from something, that's even worse. So.
Well, I mean, I can come back. Like I said, it runs.
No,
Mate runs fine. It's just the.
Doesn't it bother you that everything's all screwed up now? That would drive me crazy.
It does, but I have a choice. I can either reinstall or do something.
Deal with it.
Yeah.
Well, you're going to restall anyways. You're about due.
Wow.
Right now.
Listen to this guy here.
He's going to Pop OS.
I was going to say he's looking for aesthetics, so he's probably going to go to Pop OS.
Well, okay, so
calendar said.
I when I was in Pop OS, the only thing that really bothers me is the notification tray where you don't have any icons. That just drives me insane. Like you open up Telegram and you minimize it and you have no idea. Now you can't find Telegram again.
Yeah,
like you got to open it. You got to hit the shortcut.
But can
it's
you?
It's not enough flashy. It's not flashy enough. It doesn't have enough pop.
Panache.
Panache.
Yeah.
Pop OS is beautiful, dude. I'm sorry, but like I said,
that doesn't help my pun.
No, it doesn't. But it's true.
No, but it does pop with flair.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, it's not. It's actually pretty.
But the notifications is a big deal for me. So.
And it doesn't have notifications of what's running.
Well, I don't mean notifications. I mean
or the little icons up at I have
the running programs,
system tray icons.
The running programs.
That's it. What he said.
I mean, even i3 has notifications.
Yeah, even i3 has system.
Even Xbox has those.
but i3 doesn't have desktop icons, so they have in common.
Oh wait, neither does GNOME. No.
Burn it with fire.
There's a reason Ubuntu is shipping the older Nautilus because you still can.
Well, Rose
that one lets you put icons on your desktop.
And I said as of last week, but
no,
I don't know this week.
Yeah, I mean they ship not the old Nautilus. Have they ever shipped the same? They're like the same version Nautilus even last time. Even
no, I don't think it. I don't think it was the latest one though.
No, they always pin it back.
Yeah,
well, because
is awful.
They're usually trying to stop GNOME stupidity. That's why.
Michael, I know you're not going to believe this, but Colin said that his KDE Neon just crashed, so he'll be right back.
That was 10 minutes ago.
I got some more fuel for that fire. I actually opened up knocking on KDE.
I know, but it's cool to bring up, Joe.
KDE Neon. Maybe he's got one of his other 17 distros.
There he is.
He's back.
Colin, did KDE Neon crash for you?
Yes, it did.
How many distros do you have installed currently on your machine?
4.
Okay, then. So I'm going to blame randomly one of those 3. Give me a list.
I'm on Antigos at the moment.
Okay, I was going to say you can't blame that one then, right, Michael?
How's the sound? Am I feeding back or not?
No, that's fine.
No, it's good.
No, it's fine.
All right, so it must have been KDE because I tell you what, I went to the
I'll blame Pulse.
The sound thing, and the actual microphone volume was moving up and down on its own. It was like a ghost controlling my machine. It was really weird.
It does that. That's an auto level.
Yeah,
you can change it.
Something I hate, can't stand.
Oh, maybe. Okay. But
Yeah,
it's been a bit weird since the last updates, which is not unusual for KDE anyway, once you get updates done. So, you know, that's what KDE Neon is, I suppose. It's a bit of a trial distro, isn't it, really, at the end of the day?
Pretty much.
Yeah,
I mean,
if you use
not,
a hard version, it'll do that.
Bad.
So I'm back anyway.
Your video quality looks a little different.
Yeah,
it doesn't look as good.
Doesn't look as good. Is it me or the video?
No, I'm assuming it's the video. I'm going to be nice. It's the video. It doesn't look like it's a
you're
sharp.
very white, Colin. You got a lot of white light.
It looks like you're
the
slightly out of
contrast
focus.
The contrast.
Well,
is
if you ask
little
my
washed
Asian
out.
family, they all say I look white. Anyway, it's probably my natural color now. I don't know. I don't know what that's all about. Anyway, must be. Yeah, I don't know.
So I've been hearing an awful lot about this thing called Slack, and it's supposed to be really, really popular. Yeah.
Yep.
What is it? I've never heard of it.
It's just another IM program. It's based on, well, it was originally based on top of IRC, but it's got all the bells and whistles, and it's gotten huge in enterprise, and even a bunch of open source people use it, but it's closed source, proprietary. It's, I guess the new hotness. It was meant to be
thing ever.
So is it like Telegram or what?
No, it's
more.
It's not based on IRC. It never was. The concept of it is IRC turned into web. So like all the benefits of IRC with none of the negatives. So like everybody has their own individual chat log. It's automatically saved on the server. You can technically get into it via an IRC like bridge, but it's not based on IRC. It's just like a GUI. It's a web server thing that is like its own. It's a service that they provide that you either pay if you have like a an open source project, they allow you to use it for free, but they have a enterprise version that you use, and it's just a glorified chat room. The reason why it's beneficial is because it has that whole, everybody has the same linked chat log that IRC does not offer.
So
and it's impossible for it to offer.
The other thing is it's free for everyone up till 10,000 messages. Then it starts truncating on the back end, so anyone can run it. And then the other thing that I read when I read the article about how they started, they actually apparently used IRC as the base communication protocol when they started it. I don't know if it still is.
It definitely is.
Yeah.
Wait,
And
Dustin.
What?
Dustin, hold, stand by. Wait.
What?
The names just popped up on the screen. You got to be kidding me. You have your name as Rocco is in denial.
I was wondering how long you were going to notice that.
Well, the names aren't up. They're specifically set to being off, but once in a while, Zoom will do a glitch and pop up the names, and it just popped up. I'm like, what the heck is that?
I was going to say, I've been seeing that for about the last 5 minutes.
Well, I have the setting turned off so that you don't see the names.
Oh, that's your oversight there, buddy.
You're not gonna see all the jabs accurately with that turned off.
I guess. Didn't even notice it. Anyway, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Anyway, Slack is super popular in terms of it was the first commercial solution to solve the problem with IRC and have teams that can work together in a chat room that's actually synced across all devices and all this other stuff.
So is it more business orientated than personal use?
No,
it could be anything. It's limited based on the amount of messages. Yeah.
The other thing about it too is their marketing spiel when they started was it was intended to be an email replacement for Teams, because people spend a ton of time managing email, and the whole idea is that you've got all these channels and rooms that are sort of subject based, and it's not ephemeral, but everything just goes by, and you can go back and you primarily use search to find information. You can do pinning and images. I mean, it's the whole kit and caboodle sort of thing.
The idea is to get you to pay for it, because you said it.
Of course,
you lose after a certain amount of messages. You lose them.
Yeah, it's a commercial
per month.
I'm hoping we use it for our stuff, Rocco. I want to give it a try.
Yeah. It's actually
Slack is not worth it. It's not.
Does it do video?
There's open source solutions that are clones of Slack. Just use those.
It does do video, but there's what's the best?
It does embedded videos, embedded link videos.
It also does video calling and everything now too. But the other thing to remember is to communicate, you have to be invited into that instance and those channels. You can't. There's no outside federation. There's no concept of public and this and that. You actually have to be invited in before you can use it. It's more of a private room. Where I've seen it be successful is more in a corporate environment, although it's used a lot outside. It's kind of the same way with Discord without the auto join. If you really wanted to break it down, you can join channels in Discord. You can't really in Slack. You have to be invited.
Well, Slack also doesn't have voice channel and chat things.
They do.
They just have the call system.
Yeah.
They have an actual server that you go into a specific channel and just start talking to people.
Yeah, no, you're right. You could be in a room and you can spawn a voice video chat out of a room or whatever. But yeah, you're right. It's not a voice room.
Yeah, the Discord is like a Mumble Slack combination thing.
Yeah.
And so the thing is though, Slack is I've been using Slack for about 2 years or so.
Yeah.
Not because I want to, but because I work with companies that use it, so I gotta use it. And it's super hyped. It's a glorified IRC basically. But there's also Matrix, Rocket Chat, Mattermost, and about 3 others I can't think of off the top of my head that all do the same thing.
There's Gitter. There was the Hip Chat. The Atlassian did Hip Chat, but they just renamed it. There's the Microsoft Teams. They're trying to basically clone Slack. In fact, they're getting rid of all the Skype for Business stuff. They're merging it all into Teams now. So they're kind of making their big play.
Yeah, there's Glip too. Glip.
Yeah, Glip.
There's also one that Amazon made. I forgot what they called it, but they made their own.
What the hell is that? We had to look at it at work because we're an Amazon partner, but we just shut that down. It wasn't even
it's not
worth looking at. No, it's crud.
Yeah, but there's a lot. It's a very competitive space for something that's most people don't use.
The one thing that it does have really strong, and this is mostly from the marketing point of view, is there are integrations for almost everything into that thing. Yeah. Like everything. If anyone's got a bot, it's in Slack. If anyone's trying to do some automation, you can do it in Slack. The connectors are all in there. You can do it with simple webhooks, things like that. Like it's pretty straightforward to get like what they call a slash command done. Like they've done a good job with the integration. I'd say that's probably its strongest point. But
yeah, that's a
outside of that, though, like it's all right. Like we used to use Gitter in our project, and I prefer that one by far over it, except for their stupid notification system. So,
sure. Thank you.
So it's not something that can replace like Zoom or anything like that.
No. Different use case, right? Like Zoom is like a WebEx video conferencing. That's what it's meant to be, GoToMeeting sort of thing. Whereas Slack's more like just it's an IM with some additional nuts and bolts on top of it, a little bit of spit shine and a little fancy paint.
Yeah, it's an IM plus IRC plus those integration system thing, like automation stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, like Slack went down last week or the week before. It was probably the first time I've seen it go down, but holy crap, did Twitter blow up? Like it just gave you like it's kind of like when Amazon goes down. Like everybody has this holy crap moment, and you realize how
it's the end of the world.
Oh no!
Yeah, Amazon goes down for 4 seconds. People freak out.
Yeah, exactly, because half of the internet went out. So
my Tide button doesn't work anymore.
Well, the sad thing is that Slack is a lot more important than as far as Amazon goes. Because if Amazon goes like, oh well, I'll just go back later. Slack is like my entire business relies on this communication tool.
But you could say that with Amazon too. Like I mean, like for example, at my work, we run almost everything on top of Amazon, and when that thing goes down, like it's a holy crap moment. So
right, but I mean, how often does AWS go down
though? Well, if you architect it right, not often, but you look at when the S3 outage happened on the East Coast, and there were whole SaaS services taken right out because they built everything in one availability zone.
Wasn't that level 3's fault?
Well, regardless of whoever's fault it is, but if you're building everything in one availability zone, like I'm just arguing that it's architecture, right? So it's if they go down, and if you've built your application or company or whatever you're doing, if you've built it across regions and availability zones, you're going to be fine. But if you throw everything in one S3 bucket in the East Coast and Virginia and that goes down, well, guess what? You're going to hurt. So
yeah, that's a good point.
Womp womp womp.
Pretty much.
People should just try out Mattermost or Rocket Chat.
Rocket Chat.
They want something like Slack.
Yeah, I agree, but Rocket Chat, their client is buggy as hell. Ubuntu was using it for a lot of their internal communications because it was open source. And for example, the whole Snap team went away from it just because you'd get in there and it was a dog. Like the underlying concept product is probably okay, but it's got some work to be done on it right now.
Yeah, I mean, I actually like Matrix the most, except it's complicated for people who are like just getting into this kind of thing.
Yeah,
because you have to have the protocol and the client structure, or just use the default matrix.org stuff, and then you have to have your client connect to that particular server, and it's just
Yeah, is that what Riot uses? It's Matrix in the back end, right?
Matrix.org is Riot.
Man, I've been trying to get them to fix something for me on Twitter for like a month and a half. I can't get my account back.
That might be a Matrix thing. You got to talk to Matrix instead of Riot. Riot doesn't respond to hardly anything.
Yeah, well, I have a bunch of private conversations, so but they're about a month apart. So we're on the 6-month support plan here.
Yes, fantastic.
I guess that's what you get for $0.
Right? It's almost but I don't know. We pay Zeb millions of dollars to help us out on Destination Linux, and
he didn't even show up a couple weeks ago.
I know. And we were falling apart without.
He wants that one in front of those zeros. That's what Zeb wants. That's why bit of a protest there, I think.
We forgot the zeros, dude. Well, actually, we didn't forget the zeros. There's just 1 0.
We didn't get to zero, so our bank would let us write.
Okay, now I have to ask, which side of the decimal is the 0 on?
Well, it's a 0, 0, so it doesn't matter. There's no higher number than 0 in the number. So
talking of 0, Wine 3.0 has finally shipped.
Yes.
And they're touting direct 3D 11 support. Is that a big issue for gamers?
Isn't it direct? I thought it was 10. Maybe
it might be 10. I don't know. It's good. Is it, I'd care if they were doing 12.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
But like, it's good that they're doing and they're improving, and they're not relying on 9 anymore, which is deprecated. So like, it's good, but
it's kind of the same thing like XFCE finally getting GTK3.
Yes.
It's kind of that same thing. Like, woo.
So
that's okay. I'm so glad you're here.
Yeah.
Years ago.
They're actually saying Windows 7 is the default version now, which I think XP used to be, didn't it? So Windows 7 is now the default version in Wine.
And what, in 3.0?
Yeah. And it has 3D 10 and 11 support, 3D command stream, Android graphics drivers.
Oh, 10 and 11?
Yeah, well,
10 and 11
it is 11.
says.
It's DirectX 11, and apparently they're working on 12 already.
Okay, that's actually really good.
Yeah, that would be cool.
A lot of stuff will be supported.
Yeah, it basically says they're working on Direct 3D 12 support via VKD 3D as a Direct 3D 12 to Vulkan layer.
Yeah, VKD 3D is the new the new Vulkan layer. Yeah, but it's the DirectX 11 that's very good.
Yeah.
I mean, they may not have all the latest everything, but it's going to have support for a ton of stuff now.
Yeah,
and that's the only reason people don't use Wine is because it doesn't support it. So.
Yeah, it's not my use case, but the fact that like Crossover can run Office 2016 is pretty big. Like that, it's actually a current version
of Photoshop and Photoshop CC, the latest version running in Wine through Crossover.
Really?
Yeah, they posted it like I think 2 weeks ago. I don't know. And then people are like, okay, you got to prove this now. It's not just a screenshot. And they posted a video too. It was on Reddit somewhere, and it looked legit. And if it's like if they got a full install of Photoshop, that's impressive.
Yeah. Well, hope if it performs, right? So.
See that 3% of market share is looking good. 3% of market share is looking real good, isn't it?
Yeah.
Right? The year of the Linux distro.
That was
been like
95.
I was going to say that's like 10 years running.
10 years running.
Almost at this point, I just have to assume it's undefeated if it's up there still.
No one has disproven the year of Linux desktop.
That's true, isn't it?
Give me hardcore facts. Kitty in the picture.
You can't disprove the lack of something.
I'm glad it's not one of my cats this time.
Cool.
Mm-hmm.
This is
so we're getting a Ubuntu want to ship an older version of Nautilus so you can keep the icons on the desktop. Is that actually what they're doing, or are they surveying that? It looked like a bunch of questions.
I think they're still evaluating it, but I mean, if you look at what Noam's saying about it, I mean, they've laid out their 3 options. You've got to choose really one. Either you're pinning back or forking, or you're running Nemo, or there's talk that you can integrate it into Shell with an extension. But I mean, no one's done that work. What's that?
The API that extension is another problem. It's not reliable, and it's also like it's just that's the worst of the 3 options.
Yeah, and that's probably the one people are going to try to do first, I bet you.
Yeah, the path of least resistance.
Yeah.
Just the long-term wise, it's not good.
Yeah,
I don't use desktop icons, so I don't really care. But
yeah, well, I don't use them either. But I don't use them either, but I know it's something that we're looking at just because of the user base, right? Like because we don't use it. I mean, there's gonna be lots.
Yeah,
of
the
people who want
transitional people especially are like I don't think I've ever transitioned someone away from Windows, for example, that he didn't insist on having desktop icons.
Yeah, exactly. Like to me, kind of the shorter term option. I mean, like one, fork it, no way. Like I don't like that's way too much maintenance. And then writing a shell thing, one isn't going to work for us in Budgie, so it's looking like we're probably going to have to do something with Nemo. Is kind of what we're looking at because there doesn't
that
seem to be any
good. Nemo is a much better file manager than Nautilus any day of the week, if you ask me.
Yeah, exactly. Because Nemo is when Nautilus was actually good. Nemo is Nautilus prior to GNOME 3.
Yeah.
Prior to ripping everything out of it, you mean?
No. See, Nemo is Nautilus before the GNOME apocalypse.
Right.
Yeah.
So we're finding Nemo.
Or should we just run Thunar?
It depends on who you ask.
Nemo.
Ryan?
Ryan might want to run Thunar.
Ryan? Oh, he's gone.
Thunar's the best file manager on the planet.
It is.
Ryan.
It's the most manly one, anyways.
Except for
I mean, let's think about.
Oh, he's there. Like, he is listening.
What file manager do you use? Oh, I use Nemo. Like, what are you in a cartoon? I use Thunar as like Thor. You got a hammer in your hand. It's
Thunar.
That just sounds like denial.
I mean, it doesn't work, but hey, I got a hammer in my hand.
You look.
I was gonna say, Justin, you mean that thing Rocco's in?
What's that?
I was gonna say, you mean that thing that Rocco's in? Denial.
Yeah. Matt, you got it.
Thunar's like trying to mount a picture and having your hammer break.
It's not terrible. But
look at you, flip flop. Come on, man.
No, I'm serious. It's not terrible, but it's just not a file. It's not a good. I mean, there's many other good file managers out there. Dolphin's the best.
If you're not a fan of Thunar, you just look at the slogan. It says "You're not worthy."
Dolphin for the win.
Dolphin
easily.
Best file manager on the planet.
Finding Nemo. Finding Nemo.
Like it doesn't. Like I used to be a fan of Nemo as far as like the best file manager. And I was talking to someone and they were like, this is before I was a Plasma fan, by the way. They were saying how Dolphin is so good and so it's like the best. And I was like, whatever. Give me a reason. They're like, well, can you do this? And I was like, yeah, no problem. Well, can you do the split screen of the folder? I was like, yeah, not a problem. Can you do the individually resize the icons in each window? No. Can you do this list of your terminal inside of your file? No. Okay, and they just kept listing over and over, and like, no, can't do that.
But the question is, though, do you need to do that? That's
exactly
thing.
That's a good question.
No. Yes, the better question is that you can.
Once you
need to.
Yeah.
That's the better question.
Yeah, you know what? I can walk up the street and slap someone upside the head. Doesn't mean I want to do that.
But you can. That's the question.
When you want to, like...
Oh, my gosh. Really?
Flipper over there.
That was perfect. Yeah.
I got you guys.
Terminal in your file manager, people are like, well, that's ridiculous. Who would do that? It's only a quick one button shortcut. You just hit the button and it pops up, and it's automatically you're activating the terminal inside of that folder. So that sounds redundant. Okay, so in the terminal command, the terminal prompt has you're already in the path for that folder. So you're making your commands are based on that folder. So if you're like a Git user and you do a lot of Git stuff, you just open the file manager in Git or in Dolphin and then load up push the button and then automatically you got Git stuff right in that folder. You don't have to like manually type to get to that section. It's fantastic.
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, I just never used it. I mean, in my shell, I just have Z installed. So I just go Z project name and I'm there. So, but I guess that's just my workflow, right?
I said the same thing. I said, well, who needs that? And then I did it. And I was like, oh, I need that.
Yeah, I guess you don't know what you don't have until you try it out.
It depends on your use case, how you determine what a good file manager is, isn't it? I mean some people
Dolphin is like the most powerful and is also really efficient. That's why I would say it's the best.
There's no doubt about that.
But I think you're partial to whatever system you like.
No. I actually agree that there is one thing about Thunar that I like about than any other file manager. Their batch renaming of files is way much more customizable than anything else.
He names one feature I never used. Darn it. I wanted to jump in there and be like, yeah, I'm lying.
Like Dolphin has batch renaming, but it's you give it a name and then it automatically puts a number. Whereas you can do multiple wildcards in Thunar. That's really cool.
That is cool.
Yeah, guys. He said.
I wish Thunar's feature was in that particular feature was in Dolphin, and there would be no reason not to use Dolphin.
I'm gonna have to put a dedicated soundboard together for you guys, just so that way all the reoccurring themes they can just there it is.
The fear in Rocco's eyes right now.
Yeah, yeah. Of what, dying in Rust or what?
Rust.
It'll just be a soundboard. It'll be a soundboard of Ryan going I3.
I3.
You don't need that.
You don't.
No.
He just does it all the time anyway.
Yep. We don't need a soundboard for that.
Just trying to help you guys out. Trying to get you to a good desktop environment / Windows Manager.
Yeah, I'm happy where I am.
You should.
You know the best thing about
we just don't know what we're missing, Barb. That's
exactly.
the problem.
Yeah, I think that's it.
Trying to help
you know what?
out.
I'm happy I'm missing it.
Actually, it's a good thing. What you should do, here's the thing you should do. You should try i3 for about
30 seconds?
At least 35 minutes. And
then you'll see KDE.
But you'll see the benefits of a tiling system and how it organizes things automatically, and you can move things based on shortcuts and stuff. Then you go into Plasma and see that you can do the same thing in Plasma and just use Plasma.
So start by using Plasma to begin with.
Well, you could do that.
Are we talking about KDE Neon that just crashed for Colin? Is that what we're talking about?
Oh,
I didn't say. I said Plasma. I didn't pick a particular dish.
So which Plasma would you recommend?
Plasma actually works?
That's a good question. Which is the best distro with the KDE environment?
Okay,
KDE Neon is the best.
Let's get down to the bottom line. The best thing to
yes, exactly.
We'll notice the crickets there.
Well,
the best thing
you want to be that way.
Was it? I agree.
Look, the best Plasma version right now is KDE Neon. I mean, I hate to admit it, and it's still buggy and it still crashes and everything else, but it's the best one.
Okay.
It depends on perspective.
But it's not. Sorry.
Was that an A?
We didn't hear you, Michael. Speak up, please. Speak into the mic.
Okay. So what had happened was I was saying it depends on your needs of your repository.
I would say that.
Did he say needs of my?
I would say that Kubuntu does not meet my needs for the repositories.
Well, I mean, Neon and they're not the same. Okay. Anyway, what I was saying is that OpenSUSE doesn't have all the things, but they have a really nice Plasma implementation. Although people
do.
They're focused on Plasma, but they're not. But like whatever. There's also.
But I'm not a fan of SUSE, so.
See, fair enough. There's also Chakra and Chaos.
Oh, Chakra, yeah. Chakra.
But those are really good implementations. But the problem with those is that they're limited in their package development, especially Chaos. Chaos is like KDE only, and then you're like, well, I mean, I like KDE, but like
not that much.
Yeah.
Like if everything was KDE centric, I would be so happy because they make a lot of great stuff. But Firefox is not KDE based or anything. So
no, exactly. There's no way you can run okay, you can, but there's no way I could run Chaos or Chakra.
Chakra doesn't have that problem. Chakra is not KDE only, but they still have a limited amount of packages because they're a smaller group.
I don't like being limited.
Is that why you don't use Solus?
No, I don't use Solus. Well, that's why Solus broke, because I didn't like to be limited and I wanted to try Lightworks, but
you will not limit me.
Apparently, we will.
I will break my system to spite you.
Yeah, well,
so I'm interested to know when you're changing distros, Rocco, because
so is Anna.
This
Anna
i3
Rita.
could tip you over the edge, I reckon. This i3,
nah,
it's going to put everything out of place, and you're just going to go, "This is just crazy."
You know, the goofier things have happened that I have reinstalled for, so I don't know. Hey, like I said, I mean, I don't know, man. I like XFCE, but there's, you know, no matter what desktop environment or distro I try, there's always that one thing that kind of messes it up. Always, you know, it's like
that
an XFCE.
So,
yeah, but
okay.
XFCE, the gaming goes on the wrong monitor for me. Okay, and that's a big deal. And that's well, not just the gaming, but a lot of things go on the wrong monitor for me, and I can't fix that. So that's kind of KDE. I love KDE, but there's little quirks in there, like the sound things and it crashing a lot.
Check out that widget I sent you.
I checked it out. So I can't run that. Like, there's always something, that little thing that just drives me up the wall that I just say, you know what?
Gnome?
Well, okay, GNOME is awesome, except for that whole system tray thing just drives me insane.
You should write your own distro.
When I was running Ubuntu, I had stuff up in the system tray. The Telegram one was the Zoom one was running up in the top right-hand corner.
Ubuntu has a compensation for it, but like other GNOME doesn't.
But Ubuntu, when I was running it last time, it would be there, and then the next minute it was gone.
Oh, okay.
And it was almost like intermittent, that every once in a while the whole system tray itself would not be there. It would just, I don't know if it was a bug or whatever. And
it depends on if you're willing to deal with something that you can fix it now, and then in a year or two you're completely screwed. It depends on what you want to do, because like you can use the Top Icons Plus extension and replace the other one, or on a different thing that doesn't have that other one that Ubuntu did. You can use the Top Icons Plus in general, and it'll fix that problem until GTK4 comes out, which then utterly breaks it and impossible to fix it. So, yeah.
I would have to think Ubuntu surely are going to be working on some sort of new system tray or something, because they don't make it easy to install the add-ons, do they? The extensions.
They
because
do.
They don't even have.
It's not meant. I mean, to be fair, GNOME doesn't make it easy either. Like they require.
No, but what I'm saying is, by default in Ubuntu, if you go into the extensions, normally you've got a little blue link at the bottom to go to the extensions page. They don't have that. So they don't make it very obvious to install extensions, because I think they want everything to remain native, right? So you'd have to think for 1804, they must be working on something for that. You would have to think.
I don't think so.
No? Okay.
I mean, Unity wasn't very customizable. Their whole point is like, here's what we offer. Use it if you want. Don't use it if you don't. Use the vanilla version instead of our version.
Yes, but it did work.
Inside of Ubuntu, you can just switch.
It worked well, too.
Yeah, so my point is just like, if you want the Ubuntu features, just use that version. If you don't want... I think it's the biggest problem is the people who want some of their benefits and not all of them. Like, that's going to be a problem.
Yeah. It'll be interesting to see what comes out in 1804 anyway, I must say.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's the most, like, not sought after, but most, I don't know, anticipated to whether it's going to be amazing or just crash and burn.
Absolutely, yeah. I agree.
Yeah. I don't know which one's going to be, but it's going to be one of them. So...
Have they got a nightly build at the moment? Have they? Or
yeah,
they haven't they yet?
Yeah, they have a daily ISO on the CD images page. It's no,
all the flavors do.
Yeah, everything does, but it's like not ready, not worth it.
No, don't do it unless you've got a spare. spare machine, or you're going to run it in a VM and all that. Like, just don't go there. Like, basically, we even skipped Alpha 1. Alpha 2's coming out Feb 1. Like, I wouldn't even touch it till Beta 1 is really where
Or is it just postponed?
They're just, well, I mean, technically it's going to be Alpha 1, but whether there's going to be an Alpha 2, because I don't think they're going to push back the beta. So I bet you they'll just be like an Alpha 1 and then just go to Beta 1 or something like that.
Oh, okay.
It was just kind of a whole timing thing. Like, it all came up like over the Christmas break, and then
Alpha 1 was supposed to be January 4th or something, right?
Yeah, exactly. And then we were talking about whether we should push through with it, and then like a bunch of the flavors were just sort of like no one really committed to it, so we just kind of wiped it and decided we'd just focus on Alpha 2. What was going to be Alpha 2, same date. So
yeah, I mean, I would say people should wait to the betas before they actually start, if they're not willing to be bug testers.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, like if you're not actually dropping in bug reports, then save yourself some headaches and just keep yourself stable. Except for you, Rocco, we need your feedback. You're so
right.
You're high maintenance. We need these back before we release them. Burn the ISO, man.
Did he just throw a dig in at me while he was trying to tell me to help him? Like, he just said, "You're high maintenance."
Hey,
you said you provide high level maintenance.
There you go.
Oh, is that what he said? Oh, okay.
Here, I got a shovel for you. Let me go get it.
Yep. I could give you some pixel advice if you want.
We're not talking
actually there's actually like that they do want that.
Yeah.
Rocco, I believe you were just the victim of a backhanded compliment.
I think I was.
It's a compliment sandwich.
Mm-hmm. And I'm in the middle.
I was gonna say,
I didn't get any of the compliment.
Compliment sandwich with no bread.
So where can he email the XFCE team? Well, there should be a forums, ain't?
Dustin, is Ubuntu Budgie working on any new applets, or they're just working on updating them and making them stable?
Well, there's a bunch of updates and stuff going on. I know we're always looking. Honestly, most of what we like, if you see an applet that interests you, fire it into our like on our page, and 90% of the time it's just a packaging thing, right? Like it's like it's, we're always poking around for them, and we've got the ones in Budgie Extras repo that Jacob's been developing and stuff like that, and we're always open for suggestions.
He's done some really good work on some of the applets in Ubuntu Budgie. Actually, they're quite good.
Yeah, he joined the team, I don't know how long ago, and that's all he does. He just builds applets left, right, and center.
Okay.
Should we do this? Should we do that? And that's all he does. And and he does it all.
Solus going to take any of those and implement them, or do you work with those guys or not?
Yeah, I talk to Ike all the time. Because technically, David, our team lead, he's part of the upstream desktop team. So but I mean, let's be realistic. Ike's writing the code, like that's where it is. But we're trying to submit back, bug fixes and help where appropriate and triage and things like that. But there's been some talk about the Budgies extras and stuff there. I know he's a little, because they're written in Python, or the ones that Jacob did. So I know he's not the biggest fan of Python.
I hate Python.
Yeah. So
that's right. He's not, is he? No.
But with that being said, I mean, if they were packaged up, I'm sure they would be available to whoever wanted them. I'm just pretty sure he's not going to have them as a default in Solus. That's all. And
also, and like the whole what happens really, like Solus 4 is going to have Budgie 10 point whatever. But Solus Budgie 11 coming out with Qt, I mean, that's going to change Ubuntu Budgie. I assume you're going to continue upstream.
Yeah. So we're definitely going to stay the 10 series for 1804 because, 11 is not ready, but also because the 10 series is designated as the LTS from the Budgie desktop team. So to throw it, even if 11 was ready, like we wouldn't put it on our LTS. That's just kind of a death sentence, But but I know Ike's pushing pretty hard on 11 now. He's kind of shifted his focus there, and he's shown a few things, and it's looking good. I mean, to a lot of people, they're going to look at it and they're going to be like, oh, it's just budgie, because it's more of an architecture change than, like.
But that's actually good for users wise.
Absolutely. Like that's one of the things I like about Solus and even budgie is the desktop. Like I like the fact that he's willing to basically fire sale the whole damn thing and rebuild it. You know what I mean? Yeah, exactly. Like he just gasoline that baby and lit the match, and the next one.
The fact that he was so adamant about GTK.
Yep.
And after he had to deal with GTK for a little while, I was like, you know what? I don't want GTK anymore.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's the thing though. Like he'll be opinionated until like based on the information in the situation, and then if things change. You look at technical changes and the way things are driven. I mean, you even look at what was it? Snaps. He was not in for snaps at all. He wasn't really in for any of that stuff. And now you look at what he's doing with the Linux Steam integration for the all that stuff in Snap. Like you look at him in the forums, man, and he's in there and he's hammering that stuff out, and it's a good thing.
Agree. So I was saying that it's admirable that he's like, how often do you see someone who's willing to, take a stand, then admit they're wrong, and then like do a whole 180, and then like go even more like full blast at the next thing to make up for the mistake he did the first time, even if it was a mistake or not, it doesn't matter. But like the fact that he's willing to just go all in regardless, like just long as if you give him a like a solid argument of why you should do it, and he just he'll jump into it. Like that's admirable for sure.
Oh, for sure. And then if you even look up like same thing with Vala, right? Like someone had given him a technical reason why he should use Vala in Budgie 10, and that is not the message he portrays now, and that's being reflected in Budgie 11. That's why it's going to be C++ with Qt. Yeah. I mean that I think that's good though, because you're taking the terrain and the landscape of what's happening today and making an educated or a decision, and just kind of going, all right, well, that's done. I'm wrong, or I don't even want to use the word wrong, but
he wasn't. I mean, it's
changed.
He was wrong about Snap, but that's because he didn't have enough time to like research it because he was building all the other. But but then once he realized, like, well, once he had someone constantly saying, "Hey, you should look at snaps. You should look at snaps. You should look
Kobe."
at." Then eventually he did.
Probably Martin.
It was.
Yeah. Well, because I mean, they work on Brisk and they naturally chat, so I'm pretty sure there was a little like birdie in the ear kind of thing going
on. The first time he had announced that he was going to use Flatpak and not snaps, I spent about 2 hours trying to convince him not to, and I used snaps instead. And then I just gave up. And then Martin just like I told Martin about it, and he just plowed in. And he wasn't even on the team at the time for snaps.
I think if they do a KDE version, I think that could be a really good version too, to be honest.
I mean, honestly, I would probably if they made, I would probably switch to Solus even if I didn't have the stuff. I might compile things myself, but like,
yes, but don't you think that if they have a Plasma version, that Ike's going to want to make it work great, better than Plasma, and that's like a huge undertaking.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I don't think they're going to have one.
Yeah, I don't think they'll have one. And if they do, it usually seems to be driven by one of the other team members. Like I think it's Joshua that drives the GNOME version.
Yes.
Like it's not Ike. Ike's like doing like the core infrastructure tooling, Solus itself with the Budgie desktop, and then I believe the GNOME stuff's like all Joshua.
Yeah, it is. It's all Josh, and the Mate is Ike, but that's only because he's working on the Brisk menu, and he might as well.
Right.
Yeah,
so, he's probably so ingrained in that.
Yeah.
There is some guy working on KDE, though. I can't remember his name. There is a guy working on KDE, yeah. I can't remember his name. It's active on Google Plus.
I thought so, but I don't think it's really gotten a lot of steam yet. Like, I haven't seen a lot about it.
No.
I talked to Ike about it, and he said that the KDE aspect of it is that they had a lot of people requesting KDE packages. So they set up the KDE stack, not really the Plasma stack. So like that guy is just he maintains the KDE stack for like most of the applications, not really Plasma. So it's technically possible that it could work, but he said unless that guy is willing to take over an entire DE for him, like maintaining entire DE, it's not going to happen. Okay. And I think that it's unlikely that Plasma will be a part of Solus as far as like maybe like a community spin, but other than that, I doubt it.
Right. Okay.
But honestly, I don't think it really matters as long as whenever Budgie Cute comes out.
Yeah. I was looking for who it was that was actually working on it. Peter?
Is it Andy something?
No, it's Peter something, and I don't.
Oh,
find
that
his
guy.
name.
The guy with all the Spider-Man stuff.
Yeah, I can't find his name though, like his full name, but yeah, his Peter something.
He's normally on Google Plus.
Yeah.
Is it Pan or Pumpkin Eater?
Yeah, it's usually Pan.
I was gonna go with Parker.
Pan. We'll go with Pan.
It's Peter O'Connor.
That's it.
AKA Sunny Flunk.
Yeah, that's it.
Oh yeah. Okay.
I thought Peter and Sunny Flunk were two different people. I don't know.
Well, that's off one of the Solus pages. Waiter, there's a plasma desktop in my soup.
Waiter, there's a plasma desktop in my soup.
Yeah, that's the heading of where I got that information from.
Okay.
May 23rd, 2017.
Yes, I remember that post.
Well, I think either way, I think it'll be a good version.
If they make it.
Yeah.
I mean,
they'll make it. They'll make it.
I haven't changed distros in a long time, like years. So I might actually consider it if they did that.
Speak to Colin; he'll give you some hints.
Yeah, Colin knows all about it.
I do plan on doing some other stuff, like testing out LXQt recently soon. So.
Oh yeah, I haven't tried that one out yet. Red Core. Actually, I was gonna do Red Core, and then they brought out a new ISO spin. I think it was one of their betas. I think. So I didn't bother doing that one.
Oh, okay, because they might as well do the next one if they release it.
Yeah, I've got to download that one.
If you want a good LXQT spin, go to Rosa 10. It's very good. Rosa 10.
Okay. Yeah. All right.
Does it have
very nice LXQT? It's the only workable LXQT I've seen out there at the moment.
Is it 0.12?
Say again?
Is it 0.12 for LXQt?
Don't know.
Okay.
Hang on. Soon find out.
I haven't found one other than Ubuntu Next that is actually up to date.
I tried to install Ubuntu Next, and that was a big fail. Wouldn't boot or anything.
Yeah, there's something wrong with the ISOs.
Yeah, something wrong there. It actually went into it asked you for a password. That wouldn't work. And then I gave up on it, but somehow it automatically, I booted it again, and then it went in without a password. So I tried 4 or 5 times, it didn't work. And then I think I mistakenly booted it, and then I looked up on screen, and the whole desktop environment's working. I thought that was strange. Here I am trying 4 or 5 times to get into there, and then it was just there.
Colin, you have the same issues that I have.
Okay.
We need help.
This sounds like the distro for Rocco.
I think so.
No, seriously. Colin can run into the weirdest problems in distros, and I am the same way. Like, I will run into problems that nobody has found. It's just like I'm the only guy on the planet that it happens to, or something.
So you guys should be on like everybody's bug buster teams, man.
Yes.
Come on. Should I send you some URLs
No,
here?
I stuck it up on Telegram. And Simon actually said, "Oh, I'll take a look at that." So I don't know whether he's looked at it or not, because he's the developer of Ubuntu Next is on our Telegram group.
Yeah, he's one of them.
Yeah, Simon, yeah.
So he said he was going to have a look.
But you should actually open a bug report though if you're doing that stuff, so they can like gather all the details, like rather than sort of like a drive-by shooting on Telegram.
Yeah. So here's the thing. Here's my advocacy for bug reports. When you say I'm going to do this, and then like an hour goes by and you forget to do something, if you had a bug report to do that thing, and you could see when it was last checked, who modified it, who commented, who says, you could actually get stuff done. So if you go to someone and say, hey, here's this problem, and they go, oh, cool, I'll take a look at it. They forgot probably like 4 minutes later. They forgot.
Well, and the other... Sorry.
And so you had the bug report, and they have a reference like, oh, I need to do this. Here's bug reports that I haven't looked at yet. Here's bug reports I haven't commented on yet. That's the reason why bug reports are good, not because it's like they are a pain in some cases, but they're good because it's just a reminder.
The other thing too is sometimes, or depending on how the bug reports work, they sort of hold your hand a little bit to getting the proper information in to actually do something about the bug as well, right? Like, what's that?
KDE's way they're doing bug reports is amazing.
Yeah, and so
you see how he just skipped right over that?
Well, I don't know. I haven't filed a bug there, so
I like it. No, keep going. I like it. I'm just saying.
He's like, yeah, just keep ignoring him. Go ahead.
Just the point is then you're going to get a more of a complete data set, and they're actually going to have a chance at actually fixing that bug rather than just saying like, "Yep, it doesn't log in." Okay.
Yeah, I mean,
okay. So I'll be perfectly honest with you. Okay, like I've thought about filing bugs, and I have filed bugs already in the past. But you know what I get frustrated with? Like when you go and you find a bug, and you go to report it, and you don't know exactly where to report it. So you start somewhere, and then they say, "Oh, well, this ain't our problem."
And there is a degree of that. I get that.
And then you go to that. Oh, well, that ain't our problem. That's not our problem. That's this.
Yeah,
okay, so I'm willing to help out, but I'm not willing to go chase down for an hour whose problem this really is. I'm just trying to report the bug. You know,
that's the problem. The bug reporting system is not consistent across the board. Everyone has a different way of doing it. By the time you sort out where you're going and what you're doing, you could have been up and running on a distro doing something. And some of them are easy, and some of them are just they can drive you bananas.
I will agree with Michael here that KDE has, in my opinion, the best bug reporting system I've ever seen. It's so well done.
Mm-hmm.
It makes a novice user like myself feel like I'm actually providing important details because I can't think of what its name is, Michael, but it's like
Dr. Conkey.
Dr. Conkey, yeah. So it
bug reporter.
It runs a bunch of things in the background, and I'll let Michael explain it, but it's brilliantly done. It's really
what it does is that when you have a bug report, you know how most of these things like, hey, a system like Unity was the best one. You boot into the system and say, hey, there's an error. You want to send this error, and it just goes off into nothing. And what KDE does is when Plasma sees anything breaking or Kwin sees anything break at all, it will go, hey, you just had an error. Would you like to report a bug? And then if you click the report a bug, it will give you a list of like, so we think that this is an application error. Would you like to install these debug tools? And we'll just go install them for you. But here's these tools you want. If you say yes, it installs these debug tools, runs the debug tools in the background, gives you an output of what happened and where the breakpoint is. You don't have to even know what it says because that's just to say, here's what we got. Would you like to send this to the bug report system? And then you don't really have to do anything. It just does it automatically itself. So that's why it's great.
And it allows you to look at other bugs that are similar, and then you can say, hey, is this the same thing or not? And then it takes you through a developer's mindset that I don't have on the onset. So I feel like every time I'm submitting a bug, I'm like, am I doing this right? Are they getting the info they need? But KDE, you don't have that problem. So
if you have an account on their bug tracker, you can log into the account and it says to your name. And if you do not, it'll just post it as like a guest person.
Yep. And I actually saw follow-up on my ticket constantly, which was really cool.
Yeah.
To see the progress on it. It wasn't like it just went out to nowhere.
Yeah. Then sometimes I submitted a bug where I don't know what happened, but it was some weird stuff with Discover. And so that it said, and I did all the debug tools, but I didn't install all the debug tools because it had one of the debug tools was the wrong package name because Ubuntu changed it, and it wasn't and Plasma didn't fix it. So they were like, "Hey, could you try to do this and say, run this problem again?" And then the problem didn't show up again, and I haven't had it since.
Well, what drives me insane, especially in KDE, is you'll have something crash, and you'll go to report the bug, and the bug thing will crash, and then the whole desktop starts to crash where you try to open a terminal and you can't open a terminal. So you go, okay, I said, okay, I had enough, and I go to hit log out. Oh. Logout or whatever it says crash, and it won't even let you log out. Like losing my mind here. That's never happened to you, Michael. I know.
Look at him. He's like, I don't even know what you're talking about.
I
actually haven't had that ever happen that bad.
I've never had the bug report system crash on me. But I've had Plasma be unresponsive and I couldn't do anything. But luckily, I have this thing called KRunner. KRunner isn't part of Plasma. It's a separate thing. So you can activate KRunner even when Plasma is not working. And then you can open a terminal from there. Or you can run commands directly from there. And then you just type in blah, blah.
KRunner can just start typing.
You just need
desktop.
If Plasma's running. Sometimes not so much.
See, did you see that in the chat, Rocco? Anna said XFCE never crashes.
Right.
It's true.
No, XFCE doesn't crash, but it has the same Ubuntu problem where it wants to report a bug all the time. Like wants to report a crash all the time. It's got that app port thing in it, and that's enough. That's enough to drive you insane.
It doesn't crash.
Their crashes are as frequent as their updates, right?
Well, something's crashing.
Exactly.
I mean, something's crashing somewhere. It's just may not be XFCE desktop, but something's trying to report something. So
it's funny because I remember switching to Ubuntu, and I was trying to do the 30 days of Linux challenge thing, like trying to show, hey, Linux, this is amazing. I'm running on this great hardware. And that stupid thing with Ubuntu where it pops up every 5 seconds with a crash error.
The iPort.
But every 5 seconds, every time I was doing a video, that stupid thing kept popping up. I'm like, what is this? Finally realized you could turn the dumb thing off, but it thinks everything's breaking constantly.
It's just because you didn't submit the bug, so it kept asking you.
Yeah, it's just like, hey, stuff's crashing. I'm like, no, it's not. Everything's working. What are you talking about?
My favorite part is when I installed.
I know, right, Nick?
First time. It had a bug pop up. I was like, what? It just installed everything.
And it's already broke.
It's already telling me some crashes are happening.
You already broke it the second you installed it.
That was the speculative portion of the processor.
Right?
Yeah, exactly.
How does Ubuntu Budgie crash report work? Because I sent a couple of reports, but it just did something, and then that was it. Didn't ask me to follow through with anything.
So the bug reporter is the same as upstream, like in Canonical. It's just the same mechanisms, right? There's no Budgie specific one.
Right.
So what'll happen is depending on the nature of the package, if it's something that Canonical takes care of, the bug report's going to go in. If it's not, if you run through the wizard, it's going to stop and say, oh, hey, we don't deal with this package, and then done. Right. So which that kind of leads back to sort of what Rocco was saying, where the hell do you report that bug? And I mean, it's a little easier for some people to sort of see, like, it's because all the different developers and all the different projects, they all have their own thing. So it's like, it depends what's crashing. But the biggest problem is half the people don't know what is really crashing, like under the hood. And then it's like, well, where do you go? So you're naturally going to go open the bug report with probably the flavor of the distro or whatever it is, where that may not even be it. So, but with that being said, I believe that then it kind of comes down to the initial face of whatever the distro is to actually being like, okay, sorry, this isn't an issue with Budgie, but this looks like.
Yeah.
Sorry.
The ones where they just say it's not our fault.
Yeah. So usually, for example, what we do when someone reports a bug to us and it's not related to us, the first thing we do is we go look at the bug tracker upstream, and then we will actually link to that bug and say, hey, it looks like it's a bug upstream. Here's the link to it. We suggest you go add additional details if you're so inclined. So we try to hand that info off and make it easier for you to get right down to the actual existing bug report, if it exists. And if it doesn't, then we try to point people in the right direction as to where, whether it's like at Canonical or if it's upstream at the Budgie Desktop project, or if it's, some other aspect, we try to get you there. Maybe it's like program specific. So, but it is still a deferral, but unfortunately there's just, unless we can reproduce the bug on our end, then sometimes we'll go open the bugs and we'll drive the bug report upstream if we can reproduce it, right?
Yeah.
So,
well, I mean, deferring to something else is fine as long as it's you tell them what it is. Like most of the time, the distros will just say, "Oh, it's not our problem." Like, but whose is it? Like, well, we don't know.
I don't agree with that, because the reality is, if you're on one of the teams or someone helping one of the distros, I mean, you should have, maybe not right away. I mean, people got to get to understand the lay of the land, but I mean, you're going to kind of understand which projects are where and sort of how to put a bug report in if you're a team.
I mean, the problem is that it's problem with like the fact that you might not know where to go and all these little things. And there's also a problem with like a huge majority but but a huge majority of their bug report systems themselves are just atrocious.
Yeah, true.
When I say KDEs is good, I'm referring exclusively to Dr. Conky, nothing else. The actual itself is Bugzilla, which is awful. Bugzilla is terrible.
Yeah.
Launchpad is also terrible.
Yep.
GitHub is like easy to use, but very not really specific to like any particular organizational. So that's it's terrible. So they're all terrible. I think Redmine doesn't even exist anymore.
Yeah, I haven't heard about it in a while.
Yeah, so like
I just have one question for you, Mike.
What's up?
Is that your last word?
No,
terrible.
Not my last word. Okay. No. It might be.
It might be now. Well, look, we're going to end it now because people are getting tired. So everybody gets their last word. Pete? Hold on.
No word.
Oh.
Okay, go ahead. Now go ahead.
Enjoying my 4 brand new 27-inch monitors.
Wow, dude. Wait. You wait till the last second to tell us you got 4 brand new 27-inch monitors?
Does your webcam turn around?
I don't know if it doesn't have enough cable.
It's a shame.
So now,
you're going to have to take a picture and post it.
Okay. Hold on. I got to show you what I got to set up then.
Dustin's on the move again.
So that's your last word, huh? Whatever, Pete. That's all I'm saying. Colin, what's your last word? Wait, hold on. Dustin, what are you showing us?
That's the 32-inch 4K that I just got.
Nice.
I've got sorry, it's a mess down here, but I got 229 widescreens there on a rack that I'm just got. And then
now, what are you going to do with those?
Play Rust.
Hook them all up. And
how are you going to configure them?
Work on high DPI.
What do you mean, how am I going to configure them?
Like, are you going to have 2 above each other, or are you going to have 3 aside, or how are you going to do that?
What I've got, and then I've got 2 other, I got a couple of other 30s and stuff, but the 229 wides are going to be one above the other, and then I'm going to have the 32 4K in the middle, and then I'm going to have a 27 off to the side in a portrait mode.
We're going to kill it in Rust, dude. Kill it.
Right.
So you can see yourself die better, is it?
Michael wins.
What do you got, Michael?
7-inch tablet. It's the most high tech thing. Anyway,
it uses super technology you've never even heard of.
Yep.
Colin, what's your last word, dude?
Deep in for next Sunday. See how we go.
Deep in for next Sunday.
Yep.
All right, Matt.
tuxdigital.com/Darkman778. There you go, Michael.
Dustin, what's your last word, dude?
Goodbye.
Goodbye. All right. That's good enough. Joe?
Stay well, everybody. I'm a little under the weather tonight, so I just hope everybody else is feeling well. Stay well.
Michael?
The journey is just as important.
Oh.
Oh, Rachel.
Nice.
But it's true.
Sounds familiar.
The end of our show.
Zeb?
Check out Destination Linux episode 54 on Monday. It's going to be awesome.
Yeah. After I get it done edited. Ryan?
5 out of 5 Mensa members use i3.
Oh my gosh. With the Mensa members.
While playing Rust.
While playing Rust.
On multiple monitors.
Uh-oh. Pete, your iPhone's coming in? Let's see your monitors.
Yeah, there we go.
Well, yeah, we can't end the show without seeing the monitor.
Yeah, let's see the monitors, Pete.
Can you hear us? Oh, there we go.
Oh,
nice.
Awesome. Jealous on so many
levels. Look at all
right. Look at that.
Man.
Surround sound.
Wow.
That's pretty cool. You know what
That's
worked
right.
well with all those monitors is i3.
Oh my god.
would.
Really? Here we go again.
It would work.
Anna Rita, do you believe this guy? I don't believe this
Just
guy.
not in Rocco's case for anything related to multi-monitor support.
Hey,
What's your last word, Rocco?
Last word.
i3 forever.
Ubuntu Mate for the win.
Oh man.
I'm just saying.
With i3 because it messes up your aesthetics.
This week.
That's this week. Yeah.
It just
It's okay.
worked
He'll have,
this
That's
week.
he'll
That's
have a
all
loud
we're
word
cons-
next week.
That's all we're concerned about is this week. That's all we're concerned about.
For the moment,
Live in the
this
moment. Live in the moment.
How's your 2018 of Solus?
Okay. On that note, we're going to end the stream, and everybody have a great night. We'll see you next week.
See you later, guys.